The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
What an entrance! What an entrance! What the hell? What the hell's going on? What's John Campia doing? What's John Campia doing there? What the heck? What was that? John Campia in the thumbnail? No, as a background? Yeah. Yeah. What's up? What's up, guys? Hey, Aaron here, man. I'm Aaron Warder, man. What's up? We're having a good Tuesday, man. Very good Tuesday. It's not Let's Talk Pop to let you know. It's basically a discussion about movies, a lot of things, movies, box office, whatever's in the title. Yeah, pretty funny, I know. Who doesn't love dessert? Welcome, guys. Welcome to the show. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, so the title explains it all. Oh, wait. Try again. It's just for links. For some reason, that didn't go through, but now it's going through. There we go. There we go. All right, man. I'm sorry about that. That's for people that invite. And if you wanna come on to talk, shoot me a DM. Okay, just shoot me a DM. My X account, Twitter account is down below. So just shoot me a DM if you want to come on. Okay. So yeah, my title says, "Why are the movies struggling at the box office? And will Deadpool Wolverine be a success?" Okay. First, when I define will Deadpool Wolverine be a success, will it make a lot of money at the box office? Will it generate a lot of money? Will people go see it? That's what I mean. Will it be the one movie where is it going to be the Barbie Oppenheimer of 2024? That's what I mean by Deadpool in terms of huge box office numbers. Because we clearly see very hyped and good movies so far in this year. Done relatively well at the box office, but you would figure with the hype, with the positivity around these movies, Dune, Furiosa, Kingdom, and these other movies, you would figure they do much more than they are. Now, Furiosa, we can't really say right now, but Kingdom just passed 300 million. Dune, I don't know how much Dune just got to, but I'm just saying, these hyped up movies so far, you would figure they make more money at the box office. And I know there's some people say the box office is not everything. It's about perception of the film too. True. But if it's not the quality of the film that's not making people go to the movies, right? If it's not the quality of the film, good or bad film, if it's not that, why are people not going to see the movies? Why are people not going to see the... Hey, Mo Moon. Yeah, wait till tomorrow, Mo. Wait till tomorrow. We got a lot of Campia stuff to talk about tomorrow. Wait till that, man. Wait till that. Good to see you here, buddy. But yeah, so all right, but okay. Why are the reasons why people are not going to the movies? It can't be just because they're bad, right? Can't be owed you money. Cool. Okay. Right? And what got me talking about this subject is Furiosa. Now, I admit, I know people are telling me to go see Furiosa. Maybe I'll go see it this week, whatever. And I know from it positively well, majority of people like it. Okay. But the thing is, what got me talking about this is Furiosa. Not a great opening weekend. Okay? 31 million on a long holiday, right? A long holiday. And by the way, we'll be joined by people too. We'll be joined by people later on. Okay? Thank you, Paul. We're gonna get to that. Yeah. Okay, so and all right. Okay. So make sure to like, guys. Please like. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay. Yeah, so Furiosa. Why? Okay. Okay. Perry might be Chris Hemsworth's best work. Might solidify his Anna Joy as an action star. Okay. Why is this movie that was hyped and when people went to see it, the reviews are good, the fans like it. Okay. Fans like it. Why is this movie not doing why is this had a weak opening box office? Now maybe this movie could gain steam and maybe it'll be one of those movies where the second week doesn't drop. Maybe actually with the positivity coming in this film, maybe it'll get people to see this movie. Maybe it'll be maybe just had a weak start, but may gain steam. It's possible. Okay. Usually films are not like that, but it's possible. Okay. 1,000 went. Okay. Okay. All right. Sup, Blue Jay. Okay. Well, some people are going to say, oh, the movies are not as good. Hollywood's bankrupt. They're not as good. And those are going to be the people, and the other people say, oh, it's gone rogue. It's it's gone woke. It's become. That's the reason why they focus more on identity politics than storytelling, and that's been proven untrue, thousands of times. And there are some people say, oh yeah, you know what? They just haven't. You see, Hollywood hasn't made a lot of films. Well, Hollywood makes a lot of films a year. There's tons of films that come in a year, in fact, right? Not just Hollywood, but independents, right? A year, right? And you're probably gonna get more okay to bad films than the really, really good film. That's just how it is. Like the more stuff you get, the less quality it's gonna be. Okay. And they're gonna say, oh, you know what? They lack original films. That's why Hollywood's always going to these remakes, or sequels, continuations. Yeah, because there's a fandom for those stuff, man. Okay, fandom doesn't truly die. Okay, even not as big fandoms as Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and stuff like that, they don't truly die. Fandoms don't really die, and if you can find that niche fandom that make a film or a TV show caters to, yeah, they'll make it. Okay, Hey, Degrassi. Just came out of the shower.
Yeah, I'm fresh and clean, and still off from an afternoon in the yard, working in the yard.
In the ER?
No, working in my yard.
Oh, I thought you said ER.
No, is there a lot of background noise because I have a
No,
fan
I wasn't
on?
paying attention fully. Sorry.
No,
Yeah. In the yard.
in my gigantic asshole yard.
Just just hire someone. No, you like to exercise, don't you?
Yeah, it's a mental exercise and physical exercise, and I get to keep an eye on things. It's not a small piece of property. So
Yeah, streaming here sounds crazy. You know something about my background? That's a thumbnail. That's my thumbnail for tomorrow's stream at night. Campia. Yeah, it's a preview.
Is he the one where he's smelling his finger after he scratched his butthole? Yeah.
Here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a preview, guys, for tomorrow. For Campia. Yeah, guys. Campia. I'm doing two things, Campia. One's a video and one's a stream. The video is going to be on Peacemaker. John Cena hints more Peacemaker in DCU. Yeah, no shit. We're going to talk to what Campia has to say about that. And then the stream about Campia, it's going to go over that because I want people's thoughts on that too. You know, like yours and whoever they want to come on. And we're going to talk about Blade rewrites again. That's what we're going to do tomorrow night. And a video on Campia, so let you know, a video on Campia and a stream on Campia. All right, but I was just talking about why.
Yeah, what I miss.
I was just talking about why movies are struggling specifically this year. This year, so far. Why? I was talking about Furiosa now. I know you told me to see the Furiosa. I haven't seen it yet. And I know that it's favorable by the general audience. People that have seen it love it. It's a good film. I know that. And it's fine. But
I mean, if it's not if it's not in your wheelhouse, if it's not your kind of movie, I get that.
Yeah. See, I was saying is it's not done well at the box office, and it says it's the worst memorial opening box office ever in 30 years. No, it's not. 2020 was because there was no films around Memorial time. Well, that's wrong.
Yeah, but I think it's all kind of relative. For Memorial Days where there are movies opening.
Yeah, that's true.
So many of these records and numbers that we hear every day they're just arbitrary. Like it was the third biggest Wednesday in March when Easter was in April. Okay, like sometimes Easter is in March, sometimes Easter is in April.
Yeah,
and like who's going to take the time to suss all those numbers out for themselves if they care? It's all just arbitrary hot air,
Also, people like to travel Memorial Weekend, don't they?
Yeah, it's a big cookout, but I think it's just the general thinking is that Star Wars movies came out on Memorial Day weekend, so every big movie should come out then. But that's been years, since that's been the case.
See, the Blue Jay made a great point. People have to understand the Mad Max fandom. There is a fandom, but it's not a big ass fandom like Star Wars is.
No, it's not. It's a definitely a niche. Is there Mad Max fandom?
Not really.
Is that a
movies
thing?
Are there in the whole thing? There's a Mel Gibson.
There are five. There are five movies. Mel Gibson's was in 3 of them.
The Mad Max Fury, that was the first one. What? 20 years? 30 years?
Let's see, 2015, 85. No, I can't do them. 30 years, yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't really it's not once. When that came out, a lot of people weren't really talking about Mad Max all that much until that film came out. Because that's have a niche fandom. No, fandoms never, there's fandoms for everything. Fandoms don't die. They don't die. You'll find fandom for anything.
I don't know. I think some fandoms die.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely get to that. And I'm just saying there's some points.
Yeah, I want to be looking at the chat. Let me pull that up here.
I was just saying, also there's some people. Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. They always have to go to these remakes or continue the universe, whatever, add to the universe. I'm like, that's because people like the fandoms. They like to see that stuff grow. They like to
Yeah,
see
and
that.
when they do have something original and fresh and new dropped in their lap, they
Yeah.
don't go.
Yeah.
They don't go see it. So
Mm-hmm.
what do
Also,
you? It's the same old arguments over and over again. But
mm-hmm. I personally don't think it's just this lack. It's not the. I personally think it's just. We said this last year. Actually, it's basically the same. Our points, I think, are agreeable. I think it's basically the money, the access.
yeah, tickets cost too much. Concessions cost too much. If you have a family, it costs. It's what is it? Opportunity cost. Can the
Yeah.
money for that the opportunity to go see a movie with like what's it going to cost a family of four? In a major market, because we can't talk about the
Like New
smaller
York.
theaters that smaller theaters in
Yeah.
small towns, whether it's regional chains or independent, like
New York.
mom and pop. Yeah, where you're gonna, it's, I don't know. I mean, in Nashville, we pay $22 if I want to go see, um, like for a Deadpool 3D, because nobody knows Deadpool Wolverine is playing in 3D, but it is.
Uh-huh. Hey, George.
$22. $22
$22
for
a
a,
ticket.
that's for a basic real D screening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they do an IMAX, I think there's one IMAX 3D screening, on opening weekend, maybe one a day, if not one over the course of the first 3 or 4 days, and that's gonna, I think it's at least 27 and change. So you're paying almost $30 for a single adult ticket. Yeah, no, it's insanity. You know.
And plus, concessions. Look, it's not just thinking of movies. Concessions at a sporting event is crazy, too. Spiked, too, man. The prices at a sporting event for
Oh
food.
yeah, yeah. It's just everything's expensive. We're not in the hyperinflation or anything, but it's just
It's
the
always
way.
been like that.
Yeah, it sucks. It does. It really does. But especially when those the people or the in the bean counters, the people that control the levers of what things cost and
Yeah.
what they pay for it and what we pay for it, right? When they see us getting more money, whether it's from the government or whether it's from economic prosperity, right, or both,
Mm-hmm.
they want more of that money.
Yeah.
So the more you have, the more they, a global conspiracy corporation, trademark, copyright, registrata, will take more of your money if they know you have it. It's just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
There's really not, that's the only conspiracy. You've got more money, we're going to take more of it.
Yeah.
And when you have venture capitalists, when you have VCs and you have private equity scooping up everything left and right, that becomes even more of a problem when the only motive is the profit motive. So
as we see a lot of the wealthy try to cheat on their taxes and stuff because they know they'll take more money out of them.
what taxes? They don't have to. They don't
Exactly.
They don't have to cheat for what they don't have to pay.
Exactly. Exactly. Right?
I know they still have to do the work. They still have to do the paperwork, but
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Hey, George, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Jorge.
Jorge. That is George's
Jorge.
Spanish.
I haven't been called that in ages.
Oh, you get called that, Jorge?
Yo, when I used to take Spanish in high school, my Spanish teacher was like, Jorge. I was like,
No,
yeah?
that's a trait I picked up from my dad. Like nobody's ever called by their name. You know, My dad has a name for everyone, from the sublime to the ridiculous to the vulgar and profane.
I mean,
he's got a name for everybody.
I currently work in a school where a lot of the kids are Hispanic along with the parents, but I'm always called Mr. George, not Mr. Jorge or Senor Jorge.
Mr. George, that's good though. That's like
get me-
Webster. Mr. George, man.
Get me in touch with your cousin Mo, please, for free tickets.
Really, you hear Crazy Joe go on about it, and now that he's normal, well-adjusted Joe, and he's no longer crazy, he's right. He's 100% right that the windows are too short. You know, when they dump them, when I'm literally in the theater watching Furiosa and pre-ordering the 4K Steelbook, that's a little excessive, and just knowing that. Again, trainable. I don't know if everybody's trainable like that anymore.
Well,
but we've definitely been convinced to stay home. You know.
Well, I noticed the DVDs and like Blu-rays of movies are coming out earlier. On my way home from work today, I stopped by Target and picked up Dune Part 2 on DVD. And I'm like, I just saw this movie 2 months ago in theaters. I remember like the window felt more like 3 to 4 months until video release.
Yeah, it was like 90. It was 90 to it. It used sometimes the bigger the movie, the longer it took. It took E.T. It took E.T. 5 years. It took Return of the Jedi 3 years.
Yeah. I think
because movies kept playing in theaters and they kept drawing in theaters. The window.
I think now
when commercial home video hit, when commercial home video took off and everybody had a VCR in their house, it went to 6 months, and it stayed 6 months until DVD, and then by the time we got to Blu-ray, it was down to 90 to 120 days.
And for VCR, they had those old style tapes where you have it's a circle thing. What's it called? The circle footage. The footage that was in the circle, and what's it
reel
called?
A reel-to-reel tape. Yeah. Super 8.
But the crazy thing is that Dune Part 2 was actually is the most successful movie of the year so far, and was a box office success. So it's like, even if the movie's successful, it's coming out like quite early. I think Oppenheimer was the one that actually took a while to come out on DVD after its video release. I think
Barbie did too. Barbie took.
I can explain why Disney has no problem with this. The park, for example, generates billions of dollars easily. So Disney money is not an issue with Disney.
I mean, Disney has no problem showing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on their cruise ships for free. So.
Yeah, but you know what? But they don't have a problem. They don't have a problem losing a large amount of money because if you really think about it, they don't generate their money. They really don't generate most of the revenue from the movies. They generate it from the theme parks.
I mean, they can lose something. Park. Let's say Furiosa, the budget is reportedly $168 million. So we can reasonably assume that it probably cost somewhere upwards of 300 to 350 million. But the advantage of making your movie in the Australian outback is that the Australian government and their arts council is going to co-finance your movie. And
we'll get to Deadpool we'll get to Deadpool a little bit later on. The reason Deadpool 2 months in advance, they're promoting the movie like crazy. Like right now.
Well, that's when PR is typically marked to start for. In normal times, you would get a trailer, you would get a teaser 6 months to a year before, right? Now it was usually depended on it really would depend on how big the movie was.
Or wasn't like that.
And then you have the final trailer. You have the final trailer 3 months, and then that's when all of your PR starts. When your cast and crew starts turning up on talk shows, and you start seeing TV ads and different cuts of trailers.
You got to remember, studios are Disney. Actually, Disney did start out as an entertainment studio. It did start out for films and in short films.
Animation.
Yeah. The park came later on. The parks came later on, but like Amazon, we know why Amazon could lose millions and millions of dollars for their stuff. It's because their money is based off basically Prime.
Amazon can lose millions and millions and millions on stuff because of the sheer volume of product that they move. Yeah. And
exactly. And you know what? Apple is fine because Apple, like Amazon, even though they don't do the delivery, they're not delivery service, but Apple, look what they're known for. They're known for phones, all the Apple stuff, all the Apple products. This the Apple TV is just basically a side project to them. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I'll forever be like, I don't know what the proper word is. It just kind of something like Apple TV kind of blows my mind that they actually have a. I mean, I know they work. They have other. They have other production companies and studios produce content for them. Right?
Yes.
But that they're doing as well as they're doing. Yeah. But Amazon owns a movie studio.
That's true too. Yeah. That's
so
true.
That's
they do make.
That's the one thing. Yeah, there has to be revenue generated somehow. And what's great now is with the success of all of these fast channels is there's a new advertising, even as the advertisers are pulling back and retracting and stuff and not wanting to spend as much on as much.
You didn't like that? You don't like this comic because you like Argyle.
It wasn't that 200 million wasn't just for Argyle. It was a package deal. It was for Argyle, and so they had to split that money up. However much money Matthew Vaughn initially got for that, how Marv, his production company, got for that deal.
Usually, when they set their movies, to come out on demand, or you could buy them on whatever the Blu-ray, whatever. Usually on demand, I know for demand, it's usually when the movie starts slowing down at the box office. Usually. Now, if the movie's not making any money at the box office, they'll get ready to release on demand very, very, very closer to the movie comes out. Like Madam Red, for example. That movie went on demand really quick.
Yeah, we don't have, and they don't operate. There's still some bargain theaters in some places.
Yeah. But
they're very few and far between. And I know I've recently been to a couple in Illinois that they're basically second run, what used to be called a second or third run house, where they wouldn't get a movie until it had after it had played through the bigger markets. And these smaller theaters still operate this way. And I'm going to be talking to another place that they mainly host music events and live performances and stuff. But now they want to start showing movies, so they're pricing out equipment, and yeah, it's interesting, that's for sure. Now, if movies were doing so bad, why would a place that isn't struggling?
I don't know.
Right? That does just fine. There are multiple public television broadcasts recorded there, and that air nationwide, and they can't. And now they want to show movies because they see it as, well, if we can charge $5 to show what a Lord of the Rings movie, that just adds to our revenue stream. We're going to be open anyway, right?
People will go see Lord of the Rings. I guess it's the kind of movie you pick.
Like these $5 classic deals are.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
Well, here's the thing: like at my local Alamo, people like screenings for like old movies. They get packed up pretty well. My screening for Spider-Man 2 was packed.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this was like on $5 ticket day, but like Vertigo screening for like that old movie was nearly packed. So, like even if it's like for like regular price, the Alamo old movies still do pretty well at the Alamo. Like whenever I'm looking for a screening,
I think.
Be surprised if for people who are interested in this end of it. All you really have to do is talk to your local theater manager, and they'll tell you everything you need to know.
Honestly, if movie theaters, if they reduce the ticket prices for these movies, I think these movies would do better at the box office because more people will see, more people will be able to afford to go in the long run. Because I mean, it's true. It's tough though. It's the studios are going to have to take less per ticket. The theater owners are going to have to take less per ticket. Exactly.
Well,
concession prices would probably likely go up.
Concession prices have gone crazy at my independent theater.
Oh my God.
How many screens are in your Alamo, George?
So, I mean, I don't usually go. Well, I go to the Alamo to watch old movies. I go to my independent theater for new movies. So, I'm trying to think like how many the Alamo has. I'm gonna have to double check, but I know my independent theater. Pretty sure we got at least. I'm gonna look. I gotta look this up. Actually, I know we have 2 theaters at my independent theater, so they're called Apex theaters, where like the sound is very loud. It's like half IMAX, but it's not full IMAX.
Yeah, it's every chain, whether they're national or regional, has their own premium large format experience.
So
Regal has RPX, AMC. I forget what AMC. Well, AMC uses Dolby now. Is what.
So
what
I see most of the movies that I watch in the Apex, like mainly the big budget ones. If it's like a one that I don't think I need to see in the Apex, like let's say Wonka, I won't see Wonka on the Apex. I'll see it in the regular theater at my independent theater. But for movies like Furiosa, any superhero movie, John Wick Chapter 4 I saw in the Apex, Mission Impossible I saw in the Apex, Oppenheimer.
Let me tell you something. When I went to see Kingdom of the Apes on a Tuesday, tickets were $8 because Tuesdays were like half off.
Yeah,
it
wasn't at my independent theater, I think they're like $5 on Tuesdays. But I work on Tuesday, so I don't really get a chance to see movies on Tuesday.
So yeah,
most Tuesdays are. How was the crowd, Aaron, on that Tuesday?
Actually, it was mostly adults.
Yeah, but numbers wise, was it?
It wasn't packed. It wasn't like it was maybe quarter, maybe like
Well, I mean, even that's
fill,
impressive. Most theaters
30 to 45%, but that was actually in the afternoon on Tuesday.
Yeah. Most
so
people
that's
are at
actually
work.
pretty good. Yeah, it was actually pretty good for Tuesday afternoon.
If you were to go later at a 7 or 9 o'clock show, it might be more
at that price.
Might be more people. Yes, because Tuesdays are definitely just based on my experience the biggest days, the most profitable days. So.
Yes, that's true.
And that's just because of volume. What you're losing in the your per ticket share, you're making up for in volume. So
that was my point, right?
Yep. It's just how it is, man.
Yeah. And I mean,
there's a drive-in that it was the closest drive-in we had in Franklin, Kentucky, and they did 2 movies a night. They had one new movie, typically one new movie and one old movie. They had a per car charge. It was like one, but then if you had certain kids under a certain age, you would get a break. And they had excellent concessions. They had burgers and like chicken tenders and hot dogs, and they just had all that. It's like carnival food, right? Mm-hmm. But if you didn't want to buy their food for $5, you could they would sell you because you couldn't. It's just like a theater. You don't anywhere they prepare or sell food. They don't really want you bringing your own food in. No. But they'll charge you $5 to give you a pass that says you can sneak your stuff in, or you can be cool about it and give them $5 and go across the street and get a pizza and bring it in. You don't have to buy their food. They'll let you bring a pizza in, but it's going to cost you. And it worked, but they shut down because of all of the development around it. Mm-hmm. And someone has purchased all of that equipment, and we'll be opening a new drive-in near Nashville next year.
I want to address something that I've been seeing a lot of, like in the chats when people are having these discussions. I've been seeing it in some of Max's chats while he's having these discussions. The thing about, movies becoming a luxury, that like young people aren't going to movies because they're costing a lot. I think there is some truth to that. I mean, I'm a young person that goes to a lot of movies, but I'm also a young person that's not in financial debt. So.
Well, yeah.
Like when I look at, for me, like I've already paid off my student loans. I didn't have many to begin with, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't have the biggest paying job, nor do I have the most consistent working hours, but I've saved my money pretty well throughout the years. But again, like how many young people, whether they're older or younger than me, have that luxury? And
let's say
I don't see every single movie. I'm not planning on seeing The Fall Guy at the moment because there's other movies coming out this year that I'm saving my money for, like Gladiator 2, Aliens, Beetlejuice, Deadpool, and Wolverine. I think people also have their selected movies they're gonna see. So, and another thing I feel like I think people got too comfortable with movies making $1 billion after 2010. It feels like the 2010s we had a lot of $1 billion movies. People don't realize that we didn't have that. We only had like a few $1 billion movies in the 2000s. Like what we're seeing, what we're
that
seeing
number is imaginary to anybody inside the system. That nobody, when anybody's making a movie, nobody goes, this is going to make $1 billion. Nobody thinks their movie's going to make $1 billion except for people
Marvel.
talking about it.
But I think audiences,
I think Marvel did.
But I think audiences
Marvel
have this idea that if a movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's not a success. I think that's a misconception that audiences have. They don't realize that these numbers that we're seeing for movies like Doom Part 2, Godzilla X Kong, Wonka, which are still making very good money, that's top 10 in most of the 2000s. In a year of the 2000s, those movies can make top 10, top 5 highest grossing.
I rarely see movie studios come out, studio CEOs, presidents, executives, whatever, come out and say, "Yeah, we thought this movie would make more." I rarely see them come out because
I mean, for goodness sakes, people forget Batman Begins didn't even make a whole lot of money compared to most comic book movies, but was considered a box office success.
Hey, Anthony. Yeah, and then The Dark Knight.
Well, I mean, yeah, The Dark Knight made a ton of money, but think of, let's say Batman Begins was to come out today, and it made the same amount of money that it made back then. I think the studios would be panicking, or people would be like, "Oh, a Batman movie didn't make so much." Like people put so much emphasis on a movie's gotta make a certain amount of money, or it's considered a failure.
This is say is not exactly all true.
I mean, Oppenheimer wasn't a sequel, and it made almost $1 billion.
I think there's some truth to this, and some not so truth to this.
The Batman made almost 800 million.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
In order to create
775, right? Something like that.
Yeah, the Batman made pretty good money.
In order to create
Batman
fandom,
did fine.
Right? In order to
and I
create
think
fandom,
the Batman will always do fine, despite even if I think even a bad Batman movie is gonna eventually.
Well, it did help the Flash. Yeah, and I thought Batman was great.
What if it did though? What if all of the money the Flash did make was because of Michael Keaton?
Well, I think DC would rather would more so prioritize Michael Keaton Batman spinoff or a Batman Beyond movie than anything else Flash related.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough sell now. Tough sell.
I mean, let's just say if Beetlejuice does well and Michael Keaton's performance is well received, would it be like do you think they would go ask Burton, hey, do you want to make like one more Batman movie with Keaton?
You know how they for years they tried to get both of them back together to do that, and it just never. No, Batman.
Oh, Batman.
That was always somebody inside of Warner Brothers was always thinking about making that happen. But, cooler heads, better heads prevailed, I think, regardless of what happened. Whether it was whoever, Christian Bale or Ben Affleck or Robert Pattinson or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. McFarlane's got a lot of Dick Grayson Batman figures coming out here over the next few months.
Well,
I think they're trying to. I think he's trying to tell us something.
People won't accept Dick Grayson's Batman live action. They won't accept that.
What if they don't have a choice, though? It's not like it would be forever, and especially if the story's just kick ass.
I mean, if it's Damon Wayans, then you got to have Bruce in it. That's the issue.
You will.
Oh, okay.
But just not.
Just not the Joker, because Joker.
Just not how and when you think.
Just not the Joker, because the Joker really has knows that which knows that which Batman is Batman. Joker knows.
Well, he could tell.
Yeah, he could tell. Two-Face even could tell who Batman is Batman.
I got to go back and reread all of Morrison's stuff again.
Yeah.
I typically do an annual reread of all of his DC stuff.
Hush knew Dick Grayson was Batman because he knew at the time Batman was dead. Bruce was dead. So
in Sam Hamm's, it would have been the third and final draft that he wrote for Tim Burton's Batman. It was 87 or 88 draft. After Bruce brings Dick to the manor, Dick wakes up and Bruce is in the room and they start fighting. Like Bruce and Dick are sparring. I can't remember what kicked it off, but they're fighting in the bedroom or whatever. Well, that sounds funny, but they're fighting. They end up out in the hallway, and then because of the way that Bruce is responding to Dick in the fight, Dick goes, it's you, isn't it? And you're the Batman. Dick Grayson knew that who he was based on what he saw.
I don't want that to be in the. I don't want that to be in the movie, or a show. I like it more like the animated series. How he found out he was Batman. When the animated series, if you remember, Dick Grayson went after Zuko, right? As a kid, right? Flashbacks as a kid, and Bruce went after him, right, to make sure he doesn't get hurt, right? And you remember, young Dick Grayson fell into the I guess the water under the bridge, and Bruce had to go save him, right? He saved him. He says, yeah, we're going to go home. And that's when he kind of revealed who he really was to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you got it. You know what? If you want Bruce Wayne to reveal to Dick Grayson that he's Batman, you got to do it in a more emotional, come together way, you know?
Oh, the way that Sam Hamm did it in that.
If I did this, I don't know which universe would do this, but if I did this, Dick Grayson's so angry as a kid, right? He attacks Batman, right, for letting Zuko get away or whoever it is. Zuko, obviously, right? Attacks Batman. I mean, he's hitting Batman, young Dick Grayson hitting Batman, but he's not really hurting Batman. He's just hitting him like this. You know that kind of thing where
like Batman Forever, where Dick Grayson's like punching him, and it was like you like
yeah. Well, yeah, but you know how right, like that, and and Dick is like, you don't know how I feel, and Batman's like, I know exactly how I feel, and that's when he reveals who he is.
Yeah.
Like,
who's playing Zuko in Penguin?
You think he's a Penguin? I don't know. There's a lot of unnamed. There's actors with unnamed roles in that show. We don't know who Mark Strong is playing. Like, he's in the show. We don't know who Theo Voss is playing. There's a lot of unnamed characters in that show. And
yeah. I feel like that's what Spider-Man and Harry are missing. Like a moment for Harry to just like hit Spider-Man in the chest and Spider-Man to a mask and say, I know how it feels to lose a father.
Yeah.
Like Peter should have probably done that ages ago with Harry.
Ooh, Carmen Ejogo's in it. I'll watch. I'll definitely be watching for that.
Mark Strong. This is Mark Strong's third DC role.
Clancy Brown is Maroni.
Oh, this is actually Clancy Brown's.
Clancy Brown. Oh, Mr. Krabs.
Michael Kelly's Johnny Vitti.
Johnny Vitti, yeah, he's the cousin, right? Johnny Vitti is the cousin. Who is?
Michael Zegan from Rescue Me is Alberto.
Yes, yeah, Alberto Falcone.
They're leaning so hard. They're leaning so hard into that, and with the new Long Halloween book, and with and just all the stuff they're reprinting, and all the new stuff that's coming out around the time. DC's getting back to it. Like Superman and Lois got married in the comics the same time they got married on television.
Really?
There's always been some. Well, I think it was they got engaged when they got married on television, but there's always been some form of synergy between publishing and other media. I forget, was it 80? There was a Batman arc that ran across the 4 core Batman books. I forget what year it was. It might have been between Batman and Batman Returns, where they destroyed Gotham City, and when the Gotham City was rebuilt, it looked like Gotham City looked in the comics or in the movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always been some kind of cross pollination, cross contamination, crossing of the streams, whatever you want to call it, that has bled back and forth between all the different media. Was it like Kryptonite? I believe Kryptonite's introduction was in the Superman radio show.
Oh, yeah,
I don't believe Superman. Yeah, I don't believe Superman actually flew till sometime after that. Maybe the TV show, maybe the Adventures of Superman TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things that coexist in their own little ecosystems together. Is
George Reeves related to Christopher Reeves?
No, they're not related. No,
because it's kind of strange. Isn't
I used to think that.
No, because it's George Reeves, right?
Oh, it's spelled differently.
Yeah.
Last name?
And then it's Christopher Reeve, no S.
Oh.
but I'm gonna say this though. I think people on not just Twitter but in these chats and obviously certain pundits like Grace Randolph, I think they're overreacting to all this, because it's like some movies we're getting back to normal box office numbers that were like before the 2010s, and it's not like there hasn't been any big successes since 2019. No Way Home made a ton of money. Top Gun Maverick made $1 billion. That was the biggest surprise of any $1 billion movie. It deserved every penny.
Made $1 billion.
And look, that movie deserved every penny. Top Gun Maverick was a phenomenal movie, but I don't think people were expecting that to be the next highest grossing movie post-COVID.
I did. I saw Top Gun Maverick. Probably 2 years before anybody else. And I don't know.
Jurassic Park made $1 billion.
My business partner grabs me. My business partner grabs me by the arm. Like, he's like, I don't want to cry in front of you, dude. I don't want to cry in front of you. And I'm like, I don't care if you cry in front of me, man.
And people
Iceman just died, brother. You cry. Cry.
Listen, Top Gun Maverick was the most fun I had in a movie, and since No Way Home, when that movie came out, I was like, damn, this is so much fun watching.
Top Gun Maverick was what The Force Awakens should have been.
Yes. Yes.
Getting the gang back together and teaching the new kids how to. That's what they should have did. That's what they should have done.
Well, and then and Jurassic Park also in that year, 2022.
Well, Jurassic World Dominion. It doesn't even deserve to be called Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Jurassic World Dominion was probably the worst.
A movie about dinosaurs. A movie about dinosaurs. They made Wasp.
Then last year, like, I mean, last year I get it. We had the strikes, but look, Barbie still made $1 billion. Super Mario made $1 billion. I know Barbie and Mario are popular brands, but they still made $1 billion. Oppenheimer made over $900 million worldwide for an R-rated movie. That's really good.
For a fucking depressing ass R-rated movie.
And a 3-hour movie.
No joy, just suck every ounce of joy out of you.
And look, I love Oppenheimer. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, I do too. It's a beautiful piece of art, but man, is it?
But still, the fact that made that much money, I think that's more than Inception and Interstellar made, which were PG-13 Christopher Nolan movies. Mm-hmm. And Guardians of the Galaxy still made, I think, over $800 million worldwide. So that was pretty much on par with the other Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So it's like, and Dune Part 2 made over $700 million. That's more than the first Dune. So it ain't like every single movie that's come out has been a flop or a disappointment. Some movies have exceeded expectations. And I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
Commerce. There's got to be a way to find the middle road, and that involves smaller budgets.
And I might be wrong about this, but I feel like certain movies in the 2010s, particularly like in the early 2010s, I feel like what helped them cross $1 billion was the 3D trend. A lot of movies were coming out in 3D in all the theaters. So it's like, I don't know. Did 3D play a role in some of these movies hitting $1 billion in the early 2010s?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because like I was wondering that because I'm like looking back at like thinking
Because if that were the case, if that were the case, you would know that Deadpool and Wolverine was going to be playing in 3D.
Because I know there was this big emphasis on every movie being in 3D after Avatar came out. I remember I saw Alice in Wonderland in 3D. That to me is like one of the most questionable $1 billion movies ever made because no one ever talks about that movie anymore.
Which one?
The Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland. That was. I remember that made $1 billion. I was like, I mean, it was not bad, but I don't know if it's $1 billion worthy. I mean, there were some that yeah, like I can see that making $1 billion, like the last Harry Potter, Toy Story 3, The Avengers. But there were some movies that I was like, oh wow, I'm surprised that made $1 billion worldwide.
Man, look at this track. Tim Burton's track record of people's relationships he's been with Lisa Marie.
Yeah, Lisa Marie, Helena Bonham Carter.
Now Monica Bellucci.
Bellatrix.
Yeah, Monica Bellucci now. You know that so
Monica Bellucci's been in a bunch of relationships.
This is a trend that I hate with legacy sequels. Yeah. Is jokes or throwaway lines or I don't know, character like little character pieces that helped define a scene or a character that were just kind of there to make you laugh or inform that scene. Become fodder for an entire fucking character in a sequel 35 years later. Mm-hmm. So in Beetlejuice when they're getting married and he pulls the ring out and there's still a finger on it and he's like, she meant nothing to me, right? so you'll notice that Monica Bellucci's character in Beetlejuice,
that's his wife, first wife,
is missing her ring finger.
Oh, you think you're going to
sometimes it's neat, most times it's not.
You think
but it is
you're going to explain his origins, like his history, his biography.
A little bit, yeah. You get a little bit into. I'm not gonna lie, it's shot in a matter of weeks. Yeah, I mean everybody. I think at some point was human in that universe. I wonder what he was like as human. One of the screenplays, there were two that this is kind of a mashup of with whatever new shit they threw in.
Bill just reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of the Joker in that kind of sense of humor. Like,
Agent of Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even right? Kind of. But from the trailer I got, he sounds like he starts off causing trouble, and then he I think he's not the villain in this film.
No, Monica Bellucci and Willem Dafoe.
The detective. Yeah. Because I
remember both of those characters, Beetlejuice in Love, and then Beetlejuice Goes Hawaiian. Whichever one had the piano player, and I think Justin Theroux's the piano player, the character that's lines up with the piano player.
The Hawaiian thing, I mean, I read about that. Originally, Beetlejuice was supposed to be a good guy in that film too. Yeah,
but it is. We know now that it is Jeffrey Jones's character Charles Dietz who's dead.
Whoa!
And I thought the classier thing to do would be to do Otho.
I don't think. Why did he do a funeral? Why did have?
Because Glenn Shaddix who played Otho, has passed away as well.
I know he did,
and he worked with Burton a lot too.
Yeah, like Lily when the trailer said, basically say whose funeral it was, I was like, oof.
But I can't lie. So it was a short shoot. They pissed all over the script, and everybody that was there is like, yeah, Keaton phoned it in. But it appears to me, based on this trailer, that short shoot, pissing on the script, and Keaton phoning it in might have been the three things that it needed, right? Because he clearly doesn't give a fuck, and I think that works, right? And I think the short shoot and just how it butted up against the strikes and everything. And
yeah, it was a short show. It was.
Helped it kind of gives it a kind of almost a guerrilla filmmaking vibe where they just kind of just shat it out and they just went for it, you know.
Well, the original Beetlejuice was what, like an hour and a half or around that amount of time?
Yeah, I don't think this one's going to be much longer. It wouldn't surprise me entirely if the clock's in at like 89 minutes.
And the original didn't need to be that long to be considered a classic to people.
No.
As far as Keaton, I feel like Keaton has that personality of throwing it in, but yet, like, when you see his performance, it looks like he's giving it his all.
Yeah.
I mean, I can definitely see him, like, in between shoots, maybe giving off that impression that he doesn't care.
Maybe he's acting it by phoning it in.
Yeah, that's
what I'm
the thing.
saying. I think that's just his method.
Yeah. I think that's just how he approaches stuff. Like, that's just how he comes across. Like, he doesn't really seem like he really cares all that much, but once you see his final performance in the movie, it's like, oh wow, he went all out. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I would like, even though I'm a Michael Keaton fan, I'm surprised how great his Vulture was in Spider-Man: Homecoming, because the MCU hasn't had that stellar of a record when it comes to villains, and yet his version of Vulture, and Vulture's not even the strongest villain, was one of the best villain performances in an MCU movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know. The more I think about Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, I'm just kind of like, yeah. But that's just me. That's one man's opinion. Doesn't make it
people can love or hate the Flash movie, but I think Keaton's performance in the Flash as Batman was one of the highlights of that movie.
Oh. Yeah, definitely, dude. When he jumps on that Kryptonian, man, that is just the coolest shit.
He enjoyed himself in that film. As Batman, he looked like he had so much fun being back in the Cape and Cowl.
To me, those are the best performances. Like, when the actor has a lot of fun. I mean, it looks like Chris Hemsworth had a lot of fun in Furiosa. Like,
he did.
Like that.
He made it epic. You have it in you to make it epic.
He actually acted on.
But it was like a fun performance, and it looked like he was having the time of his life.
Everybody that has worked on these last two Mad Max movies doesn't want to talk about it after they did it, and Chris Hemsworth like, no man, I had to time in my life.
Well, like, wasn't there rumors that like Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy did not get along?
No, that's
true.
No,
those weren't rumors. They were just.
Oh, they were sure. I didn't have no idea. Like, I've heard stories, but I never delved deep into it.
Those are true.
It just arduous shoots like that take a toll on people, man. That's not the only movie. I hope I hope Ed Harris turns up in one of these remaining Avatar sequels. Ed Harris wouldn't be the only actor who said he would never work with James Cameron again, but he's the only one who said it who hasn't. So,
yeah, I was gonna say, oh my, I'm drawing a blank on this actress's name. I know someone said they had a hard time working with James Cameron, yet they returned to work with him in Avatar: The Way of Water. It was
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet, that's right. I don't know why I was trying to.
Well, it's because the filming for the Titanic was hectic.
But yet she came back.
Filming for any movie is hectic.
Yeah, that's true. But for Titanic, basically when the ship is sinking and stuff, right? It was hectic as hell.
Didn't Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck have a fallout, and then they made up, and Ben Affleck was in Jay and Silent Bob reboot and Clerks 3?
But yeah, the reason Kevin Smith and Ben Affleck had a falling out is because Ben Affleck had a house with a pool on the roof. Okay. All right. And then Ben Affleck sold that house to Kevin Smith without telling him what a colossal pain in the ass
the pool is,
having a pool on your roof is, and that was the primary reason he was selling the fucking house. So yeah, they had a falling out.
Scummy on Ben Affleck.
I mean, I also know that I heard stuff that Jeff Anderson and Kevin Smith had their own disagreements because Jeff Anderson didn't want to do any more Clerks movies after the original. I saw a documentary and he was like, I don't want to come back for Clerks 2. And he was like, this is not going to work.
You know what? I'm surprised nobody covered Terrence Howard speaking out against Marvel.
Because everything else that he said was so absolutely batshit crazy that like him talking about Marvel didn't even factor into the coverage.
No, like
the dude's talking about like math isn't real and I've got a propulsion math isn't real, Aaron.
Wait, what?
2 plus according to Terrence Howard, 2 plus 2 does not equal 4.
If math is not real, then it must mean he has $0 in the bank.
I'm sure he does. I don't know. I don't know if Joe Rogan, if there's a stipend or a per diem or if he pays scale or what for. I don't know what the podcasters union pays its guests. So there's no podcasters union. They're not yet, and God forbid there ever is one. I'm pro union, but Jesus Christ, save us all if there's ever a podcasters union. But anyway, so I wanted to talk about the angry Deadpool daddies out there in the social media and the.
Oh, I haven't heard about this. Go ahead.
You haven't heard about the Deadpool daddies?
No.
Wait, what? Deadpool daddies?
That's what I call them. There's a small but vocal, growing vocal group of parents, particularly fathers, who are kind of chuffed at Disney for making the first appearance of the X-Men and Wolverine and the X-Men in the greater MCU a rated R outing.
Oh my goodness.
And I can't take my child. I can't take my children to see this. I can't even show this movie to my children when it comes to Disney Plus in October. Did I say October? Yeah. When it comes to Disney Plus in October, I can't even show my kids. Is Disney going to do a PG-13 cut of this movie that I can show my kids that aren't even 13? Yeah, because these are just they're not laws. They're not laws. They're just guidance to parents and authority figures.
Here's the thing.
You need a person.
I don't know how it is in Canada.
No, it's the same. You need a person over 18 in Canada.
Here's the thing: movie. You can take your kids to see Deadpool and Wolverine, but you got to be with them. Yeah. They got to see it with an adult. The first two Deadpool movies, I remember seeing like there were some kids in those theaters. For goodness sakes, there were a few kids watching Clerks 3 with me when I saw Clerks 3 in theaters a couple years ago.
Sorry,
but even
Marvel and PG-13 movies, there's stuff they say in those films that are not meant for kids either. Like Thor: Love and Thunder mentioned orgies. Okay.
I mean, remember what Ned said in Spider-Man: Homecoming? He was looking up corn.
Yeah.
So it's literally just a bunch of fucks. The R rating is purely determinate. Yeah. Your movie, you can. Who said? I believe Jack Nicholson said it on The Tonight Show. He said Jack Nicholson said on The Tonight Show sometime in the 80s, I believe, that you can cut off a woman's breast in a film, and the censors, the MPAA will let it go. You'll get a. But if you show someone tenderly caressing a breast in a film, it's immediately an R rating, right? So there's a double standard there. But say a movie like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The reason why Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is R rated is because Steve Martin says "fuck" like 19 times in one scene.
Okay, so I was wondering because I'm like, this movie's rated R, but it's like, there's nothing really rated R about it. He dropped the F. So
literally they cut if they had to cut, there was like a number of fucks that they would have cut that would have gotten them a PG-13.
Not just Steve Martin. That the airline receptionist also said the F word.
Yeah, but in that entire scene, there's like 19 fucks. But if they had 20, if they would have had 16, they would have been PG-13. But because they had 19 and refused to cut 3, some arbitrary number, just some bullshit made up arbitrary number that they decided was too many fucks for a PG-13 movie. Don't expect Deadpool to be much different.
In PG-13 movies, you rarely hear the F word. You'll say all the other words, but you rarely hear the F word.
You may get one or two, and they'll
these are
be
the same
spread
people.
out.
Here's the same people. I can't see this Wolverine Deadpool movie. If you check the first X-Men movie, First Class, which is PG-13, when they go recruit Wolverine, he does say the F word.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. I stood hard on it too, saying that there's no way they're going to put this movie
There's
out.
There's also a few other scenes of that movie where it's like, oof, like this made it into the PG. This made it past the censors.
I mean,
here's the thing. I always saw the X-Men movies, even the PG-13 ones, as more mature comic book movies than most comic book movies out there that aren't rated R.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm surprised it's the dad saying this. I figured it'd be more the mom saying this.
I don't think the moms know who the fuck Deadpool is.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm talking about your typical soccer mom, just.
I mean, my mom loves Deadpool, so.
Does your mom like Ryan Reynolds?
I think she likes Ryan Reynolds. Here's the thing: when she saw the first Deadpool, I think she was a bit unsure how to feel because it was like the first time she saw a movie like that with me at the same time. But over time, she grew to enjoy the movie, and she liked Deadpool 2 a lot. So I think she was unsure how to feel because even though she enjoyed it, it's like some of the more adult stuff and seeing that with me. I was 19 years old when we saw it. So.
Degrassi, it does feel uncomfortable seeing rated R movies with their parents, especially when there's sex scenes and nudity. The swearing and the gore, fine, but with the sex scenes and nudity, it's kind of strange.
Yeah, because when we saw, because she saw Logan with me as well. She's not a big X-Men person. She enjoys Deadpool the most out of those movies, but she saw Logan with me. There was no uncomfortableness with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents they exposed us to everything at a very early age, so we were embarrassed by very little. I feel fortunate in that respect.
Deadpool.
I mean,
see this. You're gonna send me this, Deadpool dad.
Well.
I've got a couple friends who are just deep in it, but even worse than them are the people that are like, just deal with it, man. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of get both sides. I'm in the middle. I don't have kids. I want to see the movie and I want it to be what they want it to be, and I also want, and did they do PG-13 versions of one or both of the previous Deadpool movies? I did one.
I think Deadpool 2.
They just did Deadpool 2?
Yeah.
There's really no reason for them, because here's the deal. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm not going to say with 100% certainty, but not everybody's going to see the same version of this movie, particularly if you go see it in 3D. Why would they do that?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they, especially if they threw so much shit at the wall that any of it could stick? Why not?
I'm telling you,
they did it with the last Sony Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes, they did.
There were multiple cuts of that movie. Now that was Sony and their animation and the creatives responsible for that.
Well, here's going to be very, very interesting for me. So my mom asked me hey, do you have Pulp Fiction on DVD? Because I guess she saw something about it being 30 years and she never saw Pulp Fiction. So I was like, yeah, I've seen Pulp Fiction a lot of times. She's like, we gotta watch that one day because I haven't seen it. So I was like, oh, watch the GIMP scene's gonna be very interesting. Seriously,
just George, just sit down with your moms, watch Pulp Fiction, and when you get to the GIMP, just nudge her in the side like you would one of your buddies. Check this out, Mom. Check this out.
Did these Deadpool daddies have the same problem with Logan?
Probably not, because they probably didn't have kids. How long ago was that?
Or it's because it wasn't MCU at the time.
Or their kids weren't old enough to even care. I know these kids in a couple of instances personally are pretty young, so and they like Wolverine and they like the X-Men movies and stuff. Maybe they've seen Logan, maybe they haven't. I don't know.
My mom was also the same, who would let me watch R-rated movies in school, because some of my classes we watched R-rated movies like Gladiator, Braveheart. I watched Schindler's
Yeah.
List in one of my classes in high school. I mean, I was 18 when I watched it, but I had like 16 and 17-year-olds in my
You
class.
had to give
as
you
history
permission,
media.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like my mom was fine signing the permission slip. She signed a permission slip letting me watch A Nightmare on Elm Street in my movie club in high school. So she was always fine with me
Your mom
watching
sounds like
this
a
stuff.
hip lady, George. A hip lady.
No, she's not hip lady. Like you're saying, like believe it or not, like my mom, like even though we're Catholic, she lets me watch whatever. She don't care. Like we're not like that. We're
I
not.
didn't think my parents were hip either until I got to be old like them, and I'm like,
But
holy
like,
shit, they were cool.
but like we're not like we're not like Bible Belt diehard Catholics either. So we
I
basically
I know people
we don't censor anything.
I know people
Yeah,
that
that's
think
good.
movies.
That's cool.
I mean, I know people who think movies, video games, TV, entertainment, internet is all evil. All evil.
Oh yeah, I had friends
like,
that didn't
my
have
mom, she also
they couldn't have MTV and their parents
Yeah.
wouldn't let them watch MTV. I'm like, that is crazy. That's crazy shit to me.
I was allowed to watch Family Guy at the age of 7, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your parents ain't
and
that
like
Catholic,
also
man.
like my first R-rated movie on DVD that I mean it was Argo, which isn't as bad as other R-rated movies, like as far as like adult stuff and whatever, but she still bought it for me at the age of 16 because I was like, I really wanted to watch Argo, and she bought it for me. So
The first R-rated movie I saw in theaters with my parents was Saturday Night Fever, and I actually have a picture of the theater that we saw it in, with that movie playing in it. And I'm not entirely sure if one of the females standing in front of that movie theater is not my mother.
Not sure.
There's a bunch of girls standing in front of the movie theater smoking cigarettes, like being hot 70s girls,
Is that the John Travolta movie?
Yeah. And I specifically, and it's a memory that I have because I asked my parents about it throughout the years, and the story never changed. And then I was able to go through some old newspapers and found a photograph of it when it opened. And I'm like, holy shit. And it's a great movie. It's one of my favorites. It's a great like coming of age, like a boy becoming a man, and it's super problematic today. But with everything you have to view it with the context of it's the time in which it was.
Are you going to check out a show on Netflix with Benedict Cumberbatch?
Oh, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. 1977 was a year, man. Between Saturday Night Fever, Smokey and the Bandit, and Star Wars. Get out of here. Yeah, Eric. No, I haven't watched it yet. Is he friends with the Muppet?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, I think the 30th May.
Well,
yeah.
I think the first trailer gave whatever the big twist is away.
Yeah.
Well, I would say this, like bring up like the old movie clubs that I used to be in high school, middle school. A lot of the movies that I saw at those clubs became my all-time favorite movies I rewatched so many times today, and shaped how I watch filmmaking. I watched the original Karate Kid for the first time at my middle school movie club, Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window, Rocky. In high school, like A Nightmare on Elm Street, that got me into the slasher genre, watching that for the first time. The old comedy musical movie Singing in the Rain, I watched that for the first time in high school at my high school movie club. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
In English class, they made us watch like older movies like Mice and Men, 12 Angry Men, stuff like that.
12 Angry Men, that's another one. I watched that in 8th grade for language arts because we read the story. I watched that. I was like, I love this movie. Like, reading it like together as a class kind of felt boring, but watching the movie, I was like, damn, this movie's so good. Kill
Mockingbird.
To Kill Mockingbird.
And then you get to college film. You get to film classes in college, and they make you watch shit like Battleship Potemkin and
we saw the 1968 Romeo and Juliet in my freshman year of high school.
1968. I watched the Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yo, we watched that one as well, the Leonardo DiCaprio one, where like they're talking in modern, 1990s, but it was considered modern day at the time. Like they're using guns instead of swords, but they're using Shakespearean dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the juxtaposition and anachronisms. I love that movie.
Oh,
Just
I
because for
remember
what it is.
watching Much Ado Over Nothing in 10th grade. That was like a Shakespeare thing. Michael Keaton's character kept saying, he called me an arse or he called me an ass. Like, I gotta rewatch that. I remember that was a funny one.
I was so weird. My English teacher made us like do scenes from not like and made us do scenes from Romeo and Juliet, not like a kissing scene or anything like that.
Oh my! Same with my. I remember in 9th grade we had to act out a scene. So me and my friends, we did the part where we're like after Romeo kills I think it was Tybalt, that was the character.
Tybalt, yeah.
And he's like crying and all that. I was Romeo crying on the floor. It was fun.
Yeah. I think I did this actually scene with the scene where Romeo goes on his knees.
Yeah, I'm on my knees and all of that, and like it was
embarrassing.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot.
And you know what the worst part was? I had to memorize that in one day because I was sick.
Oh, that's even better. Well, here's the thing. My English teacher, I still remember her. She's one of my all-time favorite teachers. She made it so much fun, and like encouraged us to go all out. So I went all out.
Oh.
I remember like 12th grade we watched the Kenneth Branagh Hamlet.
Oh yeah.
That took forever to get through because we watched the movie. That movie's like 3 hours and 40 minutes long or something.
What movie? I'm sorry.
Hamlet. It was like Hamlet with Kenneth Branagh, the 1996 one. That like took us like a few weeks to finally get done. We wasted a few weeks in English watching.
I think we had to watch
great movie, but
I think we had to watch the other Shakespeare movie. I'm not gonna say the name because it's accursed. Okay, I'll probably die if I say the name. You know what I'm talking about.
Put it in the private chat. I won't say. Just put it in the private chat.
I know DeGrasse knows what I'm talking about.
I don't know if I do. I think it went over my head.
Oh! I see. Oh, we watched. I'm not gonna say name. We watched the we watched the play on that where Ian McKellen starred as the character, and the amount of drool coming from Ian McKellen's mouth in certain scenes was captured on camera.
He did a Simpsons episode where he mentions the name of the play, and he dies in the Simpsons episode because it's cursed.
Oh yeah.
I also remember we watched Othello with Lawrence Fishburne as Othello, and Kenneth Branagh was the bad guy. And like the way Kenneth Branagh would like look at the audience when saying some of his lines, I was like, "What the?"
You know what's weird? I know a lot of people do not like Wild Wild West, but I love Kenneth Branagh's villain character.
I will say
every bad movie has one good one. I won't call it redeeming because that would. But one good quality that makes it worth watching sometime.
I'm going to say this.
Dr. Lovelace, was that his name?
I don't even remember.
So, the Southern guy, right?
I think I saw that movie once, and I couldn't.
Well, Kenneth Branagh, he was only in one Harry Potter movie as Professor Lockhart in Chamber of Secrets. Still one of the best casting choices in the Harry Potter franchise. He was perfect for that role.
The second movie.
Yeah, second movie. Like he was perfect for that role.
There's a lot of people in the Harry Potter movies,
but like he was like one of the few that like they utilized so well. They did not waste his talent at all for the one movie that he was in.
No,
because there's like some actors, it's like, oh yeah, they're in Harry Potter, but it's like they're not being utilized all the way.
Ian McKellen, right? Like Ian McKellen almost became Gandalf.
Ian McKellen was Gandalf.
No, I mean
he was almost Dumbledore. But apparently Richard Harris was not a fan of Ian McKellen.
Oh, really?
I wonder why.
I don't know. I remember hearing about.
I think I know why. No, not homophobic, but I don't know. I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say that he may Richard Harris. I don't know if if any of Richard Harris's children had worked with Ian McKellen previously.
Jared Harris is the actor from Morbius, right? The doctor from Morbius. He's also
Yeah,
Minority.
is he in Foundation? I think he's in.
He was Minority in
He's a
Sherlock
great
Holmes 2,
actor.
right?
Jared
Yeah,
Harris
he's
is
a
a
good
great
actor.
actor. It's Richard Harris's son. And
Oh, well,
Richard Harris, I believe that Richard Harris probably has very valid reasons for not liking Ian McKellen.
So this is apparently what happened. I just found like a quote. So apparently Richard had previously described Sir Ian's acting style as technically brilliant but passionless. So like he insulted Ian McKellen's acting style.
Oh, I just see
Did
that
they
from.
ever work together?
So,
You know who was
like-
supposed to be? You know who was supposed to be Gandalf, or who was got a call for Gandalf, but I
Who?
think said piss up a rope.
Who?
Sean Connery.
Yeah. Yes. Sean Connery. Yeah, I heard that too. Sean Connery. Oh yeah.
Connery.
And he chose Extraordinary Gentleman over that.
When it was going to be 2 movies before
And
it was just the Weinsteins.
Extraordinary Gentleman made Sean Connery retire.
Yeah, I can't watch it. That's one of those very, very few comic books or books that get adapted into TV shows or movies or whatever. Am I so
It was a great
married
concept.
to that any? Yeah, the comic books are just.
Yeah.
I love those books, and
I wish they picked that up again. Dude, I wish some studio.
they are. It's
Okay.
yeah, somebody's doing it. I want to say it's going to be a TV show, and I want to say FX. So it's
Nice.
Fox but I could be wrong. It could be somewhere else now. These things get passed around so much. But yeah, somebody's working on it. And I'm sure Alan Moore won't have much to say about it. But whatever he does, he'll shit all over it. That's fine. He's not wrong either.
And the actor who played Dorian Gray was supposed to be
Aragorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was filming too at the same time. Remember, they were filming him as Aragorn.
Yeah. They actually shot with him, and he was replaced. Was it 2 weeks?
Yes.
That's usually all it takes.
And
This isn't going to work out.
Here's a movie that I watched twice in high school as well. There were a lot of movies that I watched in high school classes. Cinderella Man, I watched in 9th grade and 12th grade. 12th grade it was History Through Media. 9th grade it was Social Studies. That was a really good movie. And Saving Private Ryan, I remember watching History Through Media. And I remember like I didn't realize Vin Diesel was in the movie, but I remember my teacher was like, Vin Diesel before he was Fast and Furious. I was like,
your instructor's trying to sell you on a movie. Like,
I mean, that movie is movie is fantastic, not because of Vin Diesel though. Have you ever gone to see a movie in a like ScreenX or 4DX or 4XD? What's it called? 4DX?
No.
ScreenX is when the projector stretches the film out to the sides of the auditorium. It's awful, right? And then 4DX has all kinds of bells and whistles and shit. And Regal has taken to for the very few tickets they sell for ScreenX and 4DX screenings, to having their managers thank the audience for coming to this special screening. Oh, that's just bad.
Oh, I also remember we watched The Breakfast Club in high school and my movie club. That was like the first time I ever saw The Breakfast Club, and I was like, and now I watched Breakfast Club so many times. I don't want to say the kid's name. We have a kid at work, and I'm like, this kid's gonna be Johnny Bender when he grows older, because I'm already seeing the signs already of him doing stuff like Johnny Bender, disrespectful to adult authority, running around the hallways thinking he can do whatever. I can literally see him reenacting the basketball scene from The Breakfast Club, where he's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He like shoots the ball or dunks the ball.
I don't know. I was kind of the the John Bender in high school.
No, I literally think he's gonna have
You're a
like the
rebel in high
negative
school?
attributes.
Fuck yeah, I was. First time I saw the Breakfast Club, George, was the weekend that it came out with a girl who was a year older than me because she could drive.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, the thing that
Also,
sticks out to me,
and she was also one of my best friend's older sisters, and he didn't know.
Oh my
That
god, he
was
probably got pissed.
fun.
well, the thing that sticks out to
He
me,
found out later.
the first time I watched The Breakfast Club, I was a little late to watching the movie because my guidance counselor, so she helps like the kids that at the time I couldn't afford like a suit for prom, so like they had extra suits at the school, so she was helping me like get like a suit for prom because I was going to prom. It was my senior year, so I missed like the first 5 minutes of the movie, but like what I was watching, I was having a blast with. So like what stands out to me with The Breakfast Club was it was also the day I was getting clothes for prom.
Hey, if I went to prom now,
there's always something.
I'll be wearing the Batman shirt at prom. I don't care. I'm not dressing up.
Well,
it's a new style.
Well, here's the thing. The first Ant-Man movie, what sticks out is that was the last movie I saw with my friends before I left Pennsylvania. So it was like the last movie I saw in theaters. X-Men First Class was like the first movie I took my friend to after his younger cousin passed away. And I remember the day I saw Amazing Spider-Man 2, I found out his cousin passed away. I'm not going to I can get into full details maybe after the stream about it. I don't want to say it on stream, but there were just certain things I remember about like when I saw a movie, whether it was at a club or in the theaters.
Well, yeah, I mean they I think that's part of it is what happens as important. If you're trying to be objective and critical about it, you kind of have to remove yourself from, the experience and just talk about the technical aspects of the movie or show, right? But when you're talking about like how the movie made you feel, the movie itself is just part of that because it's also who you were with and what was going on at the time. And that's why I'll always say that there's like something to be said, whether it's in that time or like there's something really special to be said about being there when it happens. But then if you're able to somehow capture that spirit for yourself later on, that's just as good, and it's just about, it's not necessarily just about the movie or the show that you're watching. It's about the experience of it, everything around it,
Yeah, because I know a few weeks after we saw X-Men Days of Future Past, we saw I took him to see Transformers Age of Extinction. Even though the movie wasn't good, we had a blast because we were just having fun at all the batshit crazy stuff that was just happening in the movie, like the explosions and all that. It was like, you know what? He's having a good time. I'm just rolling with it because a lot of stuff was happening with him at that time, with his family, with his cousin passing away. And so I just was like, finding ways to cheer him up. Like I was like spending every time, like I was working the summer, finding ways to, hang out with him to and we had a great summer despite everything that happened like back in May with him and his family. Like we still managed to put together one of the funnest summers we ever had together. And that also involves seeing good or bad movies.
Oh yeah. I have countless memories. I'm still looking at Campia with smelling his finger. And I know, Aaron, it's not this thumbnail, but I know it's you in a stream or something, you've had a thumbnail of him doing this. He does that a lot, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He puts the finger up to the nose and that's just that's just fucking weird to me, man. Where's his finger been? What is he smelling? What?
Degrassi, it wasn't just like movies that like me and my friend would watch. It was like we used to love that 70s show, so we would watch that 70s show at his place. And it's like now whenever I watch that 70s show, I just think back to all the times me and my friend all the fun times we had, especially if it was like a particular episode that we were just having a blast watching. It was like when that episode came out, I'd be like, oh man, this brings me back to the day we were doing this.
Oh,
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
I
I do
always
that. It happens
associate
all-
that 70s show with my best friend because, first of all, I feel like we would have fit perfectly in that show if the two of us were there. And here's the
Going through
thing,
this
and I was
list
like,
of movies
and I was
Never
like,
heard of.
and here's the thing. So I was like talking with my supervisor on Friday because we're running teen night on Friday nights. So, make a long story short, we thought a breakup was going to happen at teen night. We thought we were going to have some teenage drama or whatever that we were going to have to heal or deal with. And so I was like saying, I think the only drama I had involving any breakup was when my friend's ex-girlfriend made it seem like I was one of the reasons why like she couldn't date him because his mom wouldn't let him hang out with her, but she always let him hang out with me even when he was grounded. And I was like, with all due respect, his mom has known me since I was 4 years old and knows how responsible I am, being a year older than him and, always doing the right thing. And like, he never held it against me. He was like, you know what? She was just a bitch anyway. He's like, that's what he would like say. But she went out with one of our friends to try to make him jealous.
Oh my God.
And it's like I don't think she realized like how much like he was dealing with at the time because this was also around the time where, the cousin passed away and all this other stuff was happening. Mm-hmm. So it was like, of course, he's going to be allowed to hang out with me. I'm the closest, I'm like family to him. So of course, like we're going to let him stay over and and his mom like will let me over because she knows that I'm like who I am. So like she was trying to make it seem like I think she was like jealous of me. I'm like, girl, what are you jealous over? like first of all, I love him like a brother. I don't love him in the other way. He is like my brother. I still consider him a brother, even though we don't talk as often as we used to. But whenever we talk, we still have great times talking. So it's like, what are you jealous over? Like, just because, like even when he was grounded, I was still allowed to come over. It was like, cause his mom trusted me. She knew I wasn't gonna sneak the beer in when it was just the two of us home alone. I mean, I couldn't buy any beer, but
at the time,
I can always ask
most
people.
Most of my close friends are the people I've known for 30 years or more. The people that I see and talk to and work with, literally, like, what is it, 2024? Yeah. I mean, I don't really deal with most people I deal with. I've known for more than half of my life, which is, I guess I'm fortunate in that respect. I mean, I know I'm fortunate in that respect, but thinking about it out loud kind of blows my mind. Because I'm old.
Oh,
don't look it, don't sound it, don't feel it, but I'm fucking old, fellas.
Old.
The thing is,
old.
So,
old.
But our friend that was then our other friend that was then dating my best friend's ex, he later broke up with her and realized like how bitchy she was, and you know what? He's still friends with my other friend. So it's like, you know what? Hey, a friendship lasted, and she's who knows where she is, and none of us really care.
Do either of you guys follow the president of physical media on Twitter?
No.
The who?
The president of physical media.
Oh no, I didn't even know there was a president of physical media.
There is, and he's a dickhead kid. But anyway,
a dickhead kid.
Yeah. Oh my God, he blocked me.
Why? Did you say something?
I didn't. Whatever. That's fucking hilarious.
I've only been blocked by two people in my entire history of Twitter. Gina Carano.
Yeah, blocked by her.
I don't even know how that one happened. I never even said anything about Gina.
Easy. She fantasy search.
And then the second one, his name sounds similar to Blandy Ignore.
Oh, I'm not even blocked by him.
No, he's
Yo,
I don't know. I think he works at a warehouse for he somehow anyway. This person, what he does is he reposts. They they repost, and they're your typical like antagonistic, um, like clout chasing.
Mm.
I know more than you, or I know something you don't person when they're literally just 2 or 3 minutes behind discussing film or or somebody else who knows more than they do, or they're just basically cutting and pasting information and
Like,
proffering it as their own, right?
it's like
So
the
we posted something funny today about unaltered Star Wars trilogy about you know you're never going to see the unaltered Star Wars trilogy again, and I said, well, don't, you know, if you're holding your breath, you're gonna die, you know, because we're at least 3 years out from that. The work has been done. This is what there are archival prints of the unaltered original Star Wars trilogy that were rescanned for historical purposes. The work has been done. The original unaltered versions of those three movies,
they're just waiting
they're
for 50
just
years.
they're just sitting in a vault waiting for the time whenever Disney, and now Sony with Disney, feel the time is right to give them back to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But the literal restorative work that was needed, I think it was done from an inner positive. I don't think there's really anyway. However, whatever materials they used to do it, it's been done. It's been done for a long time. I know people that have seen them. And for some chump to tell me that they're never going to happen, you're never going to see them. I said, I don't need. I'm the president of physical media. He's gone by the disc file, or they've gone by. They've changed every time somebody's like, you're full of shit.
What's his name? Disc something? That's
the
him?
The disc father.
Yeah.
Every
Okay,
time he gets called on his shit, he changes his name and it pulls the same shit.
Yeah,
and we were cool until today, apparently, but I'm blocked because I said, oh, you're stupid. No, I didn't call him stupid. I didn't. I was nice. He posted a funny clip. I liked it and like reposted it and stuff. But then he's like, yeah, he spurred out, man. The tisms came after me, and
I gotta see this.
Now he's blocked me. But what he doesn't know, you know. Anyway, so yeah, stupid people that don't know about what they're talking about. Yeah, anyway, getting clout for.
Oh, what's happening? Okay. Yeah, well, you know, some people can handle criticism on X.
Yo, some of these people on X, like I question like what these people do in their spare time, because some of them, they just like rage tweeting, or they just get so angry so quickly. I'm like, dude, chill out. It's just a movie opinion.
People tweet with anger, with not thought,
I mean,
or just no reaction.
Like, here's the thing. I'm worried about when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out and what the box office is gonna look like, and people saying, "See, I told you it was gonna make this much money," or "See, I told you it wasn't gonna make this much money." It's like, good lord, like, no,
yeah.
you know, this app's gonna be so unbearable when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. Well, X is.
It is unbearable right now with Furiosa bombing Neurotic.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Neurotic's got his own issues that he's gonna have to deal with.
I didn't know he had to leave.
Wait, what?
He left. I didn't. Did he say?
I just noticed that he was gone.
Yeah, Neurotic. Everybody blames the bombing on female-led character.
I mean, but like, here's the thing to understand though: Mad Max movies have never been the biggest box office draw. I know the last one made what, like $300 or $400 million, or almost $400 million. but still, the Mad Max movies, they got some stuff in there that's not for the faint of heart. Even some action fans get turned off by some of the punk rock, like bizarre, too violent, like things that happen. Like so.
You're back.
Oh, I thought the president of physical media ordered a virtual airstrike.
Oh, I saw you the other day retweet, not retweet, but yeah, you retweet somebody commenting in erotic with Furiosa.
Oh yeah, no, but
I mean,
eventually we're going to get these movies. Anybody that's telling you that we're not is a fool. And he kept coming at me, and then I'm like, dude, I unfollowed you. Please stop. Go away. And then he blocked me. Thank you, Lord Jesus.
How many people blocked me? I know Gina Carano blocked me, but I know because for a fact I didn't tweet or anything. But Bobby maybe mentioned a reply, or maybe she just vanity searches.
It was my old Twitter account that Blandy, Ignore, and Gina Carano blocked before I had to get a new one. Because here's the thing. At the time I was liking a lot of tweets where people that once associated with Blandy were going after Blandy, insulting Blandy, saying all the stuff that Blandy did behind the scenes. And I think he saw that I was liking the stuff. But I also
that's because if you're liking tweets that tag Andy, he'll see that.
But also, I remember, and this was actually before I started appearing on your streams, on Max's streams, on RJ streams, on Eddie's streams. This is back in like April 2021, like a month before I started appearing on all your streams. Like I remember I came to Max's defense because I don't know, something happened. It was something involving Enosh where Blandy had to get himself involved and said, it ain't no surprise about this and that with these guys. So I was like, dude, Max hasn't talked about you for like the last few months. He's like, oh yeah, so why am I in his thumbnail? You must not be a real fan. Like he was like tweeting, like retweeting me, like saying that stuff. I was like, yeah, I am. I'm staying out of this one. Like all I was just pointing out was that like Max stopped talking about you because he did stop talking about you. Like I remember he used to talk about Andy Signore all the time. Then he stopped talking about Andy.
Yes, he did.
But then he's like he's still putting me in his thumbnails. Why you keep talking about me? Like that's basically what Blandy was.
Yeah, Andy Signore doesn't have to block me. Actually, I haven't really said anything about Andy Signore.
Yeah, that's why I keep calling him Blandy. I'm not going to use his real name.
Okay. I haven't said anything about him.
I
haven't really looked at what he's been doing. So.
Yeah, no, I haven't been following him either. But he was the only other person that's blocked me before.
And Gina Carano, she probably blocked you either she like something, or
maybe
because I know she vanity searches. She could probably vanity search. All she has to do really is type her name in the search on X, and she can see who's talking about her. That's it.
That's true.
That's it. You don't think celebrities do that? Degrassi, how many celebrities have burner accounts?
I would imagine a vast majority of them. Even
the ones that say they don't have a public social media account, like Emma Stone doesn't have one, right? Doesn't have one. Who else? For example, Emma Stone, she doesn't have one. Jennifer Lawrence doesn't have one, stuff like that. I bet you they have burner accounts.
Yeah, well, I used to think someone in our community was a Tobey Maguire burner account.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say their name, but you know who I'm talking about, Aaron.
Because some of them say, I stray away from social media because of stuff like that. I'm like, you have to be on it. You had to be on it to see that stuff. Okay.
I used to believe like there was a Tobey Maguire burner account in our community.
Athletes got caught.
Oh, Kevin Durant's got a few.
Brian Colangelo. Remember Brian Colangelo, George, the GM with the Sixers?
Oh yes, I remember. Trust the process.
Oh my God. There's a lot of them have burner accounts. It's just Very. And I bet you they check their Twitter every single day because they have the phone with them. Nobody goes anywhere without their phone anymore. So
Speaking of Gina
I do
Carano,
sometimes. I'll leave my phone at home. Sometimes, not for
speaking of Gina
long
Carano,
trips or anything, but
I'm surprised she hasn't. She's not involved, or maybe she's involved in that.
she's not
in that new
canceled,
daily.
man.
No. I'm surprised she's not involved in that Daily Wire cartoon that's getting a lot of that's getting trashed right now.
I have no doubt that she is. At some point, she'll turn up.
Degrassi, she's not canceled. Fan Expo in Toronto in August. She's coming there, and Toronto's a
You know
very
how
cool city.
that Adam Carolla bit goes back 30 fucking years or more. There's nothing new about it. He's tried to sell it to every. It's just something that has never worked, but now that there's somebody willing to pay for it that isn't him. But yeah, I'm sure she's going to be a guest voice at some point. Will we get another season? I see that now that crew is pushing. They're all cool with the end of democracy, which is ridiculous. But whatever.
Wasn't she in the Hunter Biden Daily Wire movie?
Yes, she was.
That was
that a Daily Wire movie? Was that?
Yes,
was
it
that
was.
Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know. I thought that was a different outfit, but I don't know.
It was.
I know the Terror on the Prairie was, but I didn't know if the Hunter Biden
that one is too. She was what was she? I didn't see it, but she was playing with the people that
she can't make Disney give her that job back.
How's that lawsuit still going through? It should be done by now. It's like seriously, it's going out by now.
Hasn't Disney filed motions to dismiss it?
Yeah, she was in My Son Hunter. That was a 2022 movie.
My Son Hunter.
She played Agent Hound, the Secret Service.
Yeah, she was a Secret Service agent. I don't know. It doesn't sound too terribly promising when the Secret Service is having discussions with the New York State Department of Corrections about what do we do when this man is found guilty and we have to put him in jail. Doesn't sound very good, does it? Anyway, we need to talk about movies. Why are movies struggling at the box office? It's a confluence of unfortunate circumstances, high ticket prices, greedflation, opportunity cost of value ratio. There's a generational shift, right? I'm convinced that if Quibi was an idea that was 10 to 12 minutes ahead of its time. It
came out
today. Something like that would probably take off something unlike anything we'd ever seen. Post TikTok, Quibi would probably be huge.
TikTok
generational shift in how young people who tend to be the drivers of. Because young people don't only have their own money to spend, right? However, they get that money. Their parents still are paying for them, and any responsible parent would be able to finance their children throughout their entire lives.
The pandemic's changed how we.
Yes, that too. But we're in the middle of a generational shift in how media. It's taken 40 years since the advent of home video, and we're roughly 30 years into the mass adoption of the internet and mass media through the internet. That those two things, coupled with all that other shit, kind of it's no one thing. It's just a bunch of bullshit that's come together at this time.
Honestly, it's amazing how theaters are able to survive with all this streaming and all this going around. It's amazing because there seems at times where theaters were struggling, right? And it seems like the end of Blockbuster. It'd be like Blockbuster, where theaters would be going out of business. But it's amazing how they're able to survive, and we'll see in 10 years. We'll see in 10 years if theaters will still be around.
It won't. If they're not going to be around, it won't take 10 years.
You think it'd be shorter?
Yeah.
You have to see it. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's come at me about this, about my defense of the Cosby Show. Anyway,
Oh,
All of a sudden, you have to hate the Cosby Show.
hey, look, I'm not. I don't. I'm not. I didn't. I don't own the channel that it's going to be on all night. It's one. Let's see. It starts at 9, right?
What channel is it on? They're really gonna do this?
Grio TV. Grio is available on all of your cable and satellite providers, and it is also available through a streaming, I believe, a web app. I don't think they have an app, but I don't know.
Newsflash, guys. Stations are gonna show movies.
The Grio,
terrible people in it.
yeah, the Grio in the U.S. is also available in probably coast to coast through your rabbit ears, your over the air antenna, however you might pick up channels with an antenna. Yeah, there's 2 hours of the Cosby Show on from 9 to 11 tonight. So yeah, I'll be watching that. Sorry. Not sorry. But Byron Allen, entertainment media mogul Byron Allen, who was a stand-up comedian,
this is why
television host.
This is why sitcoms can't work today. Sitcoms cannot work today because people will be too offended.
Yeah, Byron Allen owns and operates Grio TV. He also owns the Weather Channel and Comics Unleashed and a bunch of other TV stations. He was also in the running to buy Paramount.
Oh, Paramount. Oh, nice. Brian Allen has enough money? The comedian?
Byron Allen is a billionaire, yeah.
That comedian?
He was a comedian, yeah, and he interviews comedians for his outlet Comics Unleashed and for his his entertainment channels and stuff. Yeah, he owns an entire suite of channels, including the Weather Channel, Grio. What else? There's more, but yeah, he's a billionaire.
Oh my god!
He used to co-host a show in the '80s. It was an ensemble. Had an ensemble of hosts. It was called Real People, and they would go. One of them would go to like Valdosta, Georgia, and talk to some lady who had a collection of, I don't know, like bottle caps, or the world's most extensive collection of bottle caps. Just wackadoodle shit like that. But yeah, that's where he first blew up, I think.
I just can't listen.
Back in the day.
I just can't listen to some comedians these days.
Remember when they used to be funny?
Yeah, now they have to be careful by not towing the line now with what they say.
I don't think they do though. I think if you're still funny, right? I think if you're genuinely funny, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And people will roll with it. But if you're being an asshole, being malicious just to be malicious, for me, the stand-up stage, the comedy stage is sacrosanct. There's nothing that anybody can say or do up there aside from like bodily functions that would offend me, right?
My favorite thing about watching these comedy shows or even clips on YouTube is when they go after hecklers.
Oh yeah, and crowd work. I mean, crowd work is a huge thing now,
yes.
And a lot of really good comics are skating by kind of. And I crowd work is good, but it's lazy. You're not. You're just. I don't know.
Who are some of your favorite comics?
I see a lot of it, and I don't know. Now, me? Now, I don't know. I really couldn't tell you right now. I haven't. I like Dan Soder, Jim Jeffries. I like Big J. Ogerson. He's an idiot, but he's funny as can be. Bobby Kelly, Robert Kelly is one of my tops. I like Jim Norton. But I've seen, I don't know, you have Brian Posehn. Who else? There's just so many good comedians that I know people think Amy Schumer is not funny, but if you went to see her and saw her do a stand-up set, she's fucking funny, man.
Maybe she's just not funny in films.
And she's not a joke thief. Any people know who the real joke thieves
No, that's
are and
Lily Singh.
were. And, yeah, I mean, a joke like that she was accused of stealing from Patrice O'Neill, however many years ago that was. That's a street joke. It's it's like a your mama joke.
Anybody that give any studio, like any station that give Lily Singh a late night talk show was, I don't know if they were smoking, but she's not funny as hell, man.
Yeah. What she was on after Seth Meyers, right, on NBC.
It's terrible. I
think Che's the next one up. I know that's going to be hard for people. Yeah, he's whenever. I don't know if they'll still follow that line of succession like they have been, where when whatever happens to Fallon, whenever Fallon falls off, and then if Seth Meyers moves to 10:30, or goes away. Michael Che is in line for one of those two. Michael Che is in line for tonight or late night. One of those two.
Fallon's not funny.
No, I mean, I don't.
He tries too hard. I feel like. David Letterman, I thought was funny.
Yeah.
I was watching a clip of like Harrison Ford like telling the story about broccoli on the David Letterman show, and Harrison Ford even showed how funny he was on that.
Kimmel to me is a lot more funny than Fallon.
I think Kimmel really leans into the classic late night television host.
Yeah. He's been hosting for like 20 something years now.
Yeah, I get a more of a classic TV vibe from him. Fallon I can't do it. Seth Meyers is just Seth Meyers. I don't know. Looks like one of my cousins. So I'm like, hey, what's up, Seth?
I think Kimmel's just has better comedic timing than a lot of these late night.
And he has funny skits.
Here's an example. When he was hosting the Oscars and like Trump was saying, "Where's the Oscar host?" and like Jimmy Kimmel was like, "Thanks for watching it. Isn't it past your jail time?" Like the timing of it was just hilarious.
Well, here we go. Looks like it's going to be Rambo First Blood Part 2 for me to look at while I'm talking to you guys.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Was it Kimmel a sports guy, or did he do Fox?
Yeah, he's a big guy. My favorite.
He started out on sports radio. He was Frank like the third mic.
Man. Actually, Frank was great too doing impressions.
Aaron, my favorite moment of Kimmel's was when he had Kobe Bryant on. It was like 2015, and Jimmy Kimmel was showing Kobe a clip of his teammates. His teammates at the time were Jordan Hill, Jeremy Lin, Nick Young, and Carlos Boozer. And like, I think they finally got their like 16th win of the season out of 40-something games. And like they were celebrating while Jeremy Lin was giving an interview, and they were all making fools of themselves. Jimmy Kimmel was like laughing, but like Kobe Bryant looked so broken and pissed off. I was like, this is the look of a champion feeling embarrassed.
I feel like Kobe is loved, but it's a guy you don't want to be around.
I would love to be around Kobe. Listen. If you're soft like Dwight Howard, of course you don't want to be around him. Dwight Coward.
But yeah, I like Frank Caliendo, guys, when he did Madden impression.
I almost forgot George Lopez used to have a talk show or a late night show. Lopez Tonight.
Was he on after Conan?
I think that was around
TBS.
Carson Daly first hosted the Late Late Show, right? Carson Daly?
Or no, later. Carson Daly took over later.
Did he do was he the first host of Jon Stewart's show?
Carson Daly?
No, Jon Stewart when he did on Fox before Trevor Noah took over. So it was Jon Stewart was not the first host of that show.
No, Craig Kilborn was.
Craig Kilborn, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Carson Daly. Yeah. I think Craig Ferguson took after Carson Daly, right?
No, it was Craig Kilborn, then Craig Ferguson.
Okay. And
then James Corden.
Now it's nobody.
Yeah.
They completely got rid of that show. They put they bring back that show Midnight. The Chris Hardwick show, but it's a different kind of format. It's like totally different from.
It's a different host too. It's
yeah.
Oh, what's her name? It's what's her name?
I heard about Nick Rakita. He's done, man. Yeah, it's getting worse for him.
Oh yeah, like yeah. I'm not even gonna. That last missive or whatever he fired off on Twitter read like a goodbye note.
He's going to prison, isn't he?
No, I mean like not see you later. I mean goodbye.
Like a suicide note?
You catch my drift. I'm not saying it, but not see you later, but goodbye. Yes, that's what that read like. I'm
sure now. You said he might be on suicide watch.
Oh, when
a couple days ago.
But then he was able to make bail, which that doesn't surprise me either. So, or post bond. I think Minnesota has a good bail bondsman's licensing program. I'm not entirely sure if there's still a state that does that. But if you go through the here's the thing, dude's a piece of shit. He's always been a piece of shit. It's not a secret. It's not a secret with that set, and how much of an asset he was to that entire quote community, right? Until he wasn't, and when he wasn't, they wrote him the fuck off, right? Just like they do everyone. Okay. And what makes it worse is you go through the indictment, and the more you read, the worse it gets. It's not just about drugs and possession and alcohol, having guns and no, it's a lot more than that. And however the grounds for the warrant came about, it doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. They had the warrant. A judge signed it. I understand that there are Fourth Amendment issues. I get that. I'm not a lawyer, but I've been in enough trouble in my life to
they're allowed to come in your house.
So he, I don't think that's going to stand. And then when you start to get into it appears to have been more than just child neglect. It appears to be. Allegedly appears to be much worse than that. And you have to remember that this is a man who just pious as fuck, has talks about Jesus and the Lord and going to church and doing all that shit. Well, yeah, whatever. Anyway. This is typically how it goes with these people. What do I mean, these people? I mean that those that scream the loudest typically have the most to hide. Yeah. Right? And you'll hear every last one of those motherfuckers say that. They'll beat it like a drum, right?
That's quite a few.
It never applies to them. And I think it's time it does. You'll hear people complain about, well, you got to be objective about it. Well, so you mean you had a brother who was addicted to heroin and almost lost his kids, and you're okay with that, but you're going to give Nick Rekieta shit for it? Yes, because this person over here is my brother who I love and I want to help. And Nick Rekieta is a garbage human piece of shit. Right?
He's not a real brother either.
I don't believe he's licensed, and I don't believe he's been licensed for quite some time.
Oh, so I wonder what happened.
Another motherfucker that fell off the expert truck.
So he lost his license because if you lose his lawyer's license, there has to
if he hasn't lost it yet, he's certainly going to.
Well, I don't know what kind of lawyer he was previously. If he was actually one.
Yes, I believe he advised a lot of people that found it hard to find legal representation because they were guilty as fuck.
Any lawyer should know what a warrant is anyway. It doesn't matter what kind of lawyer you are.
He knows whatever he did was wrong. We know he's allegedly, he's still a piece of human garbage shit, pile of human filth.
Yeah.
And he deserves everything it gets to him. Everything that comes to him.
He's probably not going to go to prison. He's probably, if they find guilt, they'll probably send him into one of those rehab facilities.
Hey, do you think Gina Carano has any problem cashing those Deadpool residual checks?
Last time I saw her, it looks like she got fat. Gina Carano, she's put on weight.
Oh boy, I'm not going there. But what I am going to say is, I mean, she's in this movie and she's probably still cashing those checks, and I wonder if the Fox checks have the little Spider-Man mouse ears on them, like the Marvel Studios checks do.
Does EVS still get checks from DC all the time?
I'm sure he does. If they're reprinting shit with his art in it, and
is he gonna get royalties from the Lantern show?
Not if they don't use anything that he gets a piece of. I don't know. I mean,
I'll never forget the time I talked to EVS on Max's channel. I thought we were having a good conversation.
And don't sweat. Hold on 1 second, George. Don't sweat, because once Nick Arcata works all this bullshit out, if he works all this bullshit out and he finds God again,
he's
right?
Gonna use it as a grift.
He's gonna. Well, we all know that. But what he's really going to do is turn against every last one of those fucking other grifting incel pieces of shit, and start spilling all the tea on them, because he knows it all. He's seen the books. He knows, and I can't wait to hear that. The lights.
Yeah, they want to come with you.
but as I was saying, like I'll never forget the one time I talked to EVS on Max's stream, and I thought we were having a good discussion. Then he got into some of that weird culture war stuff, and I was like, like I was just like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, he if you cruise enough rest stops on the New Jersey Turnpike, you're bound to run into him eventually.
Yeah. But no, like I'm not gonna lie, like
that's not a joke.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought I was enjoying talking with the man until he started getting into the culture.
I was there.
Yeah, I think you jumped straight.
I'm not gonna hide behind. I'm a comedian. I'm just making jokes. Hold on. Yep.
But
no,
listen,
I said what I said.
There's one thing I do have.
He's not a comedian at all. What is he talking about?
No, they like to hide behind that. We're just making jokes. This passive aggressive hate. I'm just making jokes. It's just a joke. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to make a joke about his autistic kid. You know, even though I have one, I didn't mean to make a joke about his. It's just comedy. I understand. It's all bullshit. They don't know. They're just dickheads, man. He can talk shit about somebody's kid, but then the second somebody does it to him, it's World War III. What the fuck ever. Hypocrites. He likes to say if you can't dish it out, if you can dish it out, you should be able to take it. Fuck that guy.
One thing I have in common with EVS, we both have a strong dislike for Lunga.
I think everybody does.
I mean, listen. What he basically said, he like that time when Max was like going like F you Lunga, like I was literally like, you know what? We can all agree on that, because Lunga is a horrible person.
When I first started listening to Max, when I first started coming around there, I thought Tony and Lunga were the same person.
No, I think they hate each other.
Yeah, they.
I know. They should have it. They should do a charity boxing match, but we're not going to give that. Suicide Prevention's made enough money in the last couple years. We're going to find another charity.
I see what Tony looks like, and let me tell you, he would kick the longest ass.
Oh, listen. I'd be rooting for Tony in that fight.
They should have a charity.
Listen.
A charity. No, we'll put them in like the
Octagon.
Like you go to the carnival and they have like the sumo suits. You put on the sumo suit.
Yes.
And you just run into each other, and then whoever falls down and can't get up wins. That's what we'll do.
Have you seen what Tony looks like? Because I have. You kick Lunga's ass. I mean, I call Lunga the pig one. because he's short.
You know, I think
I think that would be
I should
funny
make
to
fun of
put
short
them
people, but like,
Yeah.
to put them in sumo suits and have them sumo wrestle each other for charity.
Hey,
And do it
I
at
know.
do it at C2E2, and they can both
I think I
sell their
passed.
shitty comics.
We can do it too many
Hey,
games.
maybe
Too many games. That's the next one. Too many games.
Maybe Jeremy Griggs should participate in a charity boxing fight.
I mean,
No,
I don't agree
C2E2. Don't they both live in the same area? I'm suggesting
yes.
I'm suggesting a con that neither of them would have to travel far for. I could probably even line up.
Lager invited him.
I could probably line up a venue. I could probably even find sponsors.
Oh, okay.
That's what's hilarious. Let's make this happen.
I want to be the commentator. I want to commentate.
I don't know if you remember. Remember Tony said Longo invited him, and Longo said it's not true. Like Longo downplayed it, double down. Oh, Tony said he was going to come to my place and he was going to threaten me. Remember that, Blinded? Remember the whole thing about them two meeting up? But yeah, like, I don't agree with everything Tony says, but like at least he has knowledge about comics. You know, knowledgeable about comics and stuff. He knows. It's just yeah. I just couldn't stand Lunga on Max's stream. He's too loud, speaks over him.
Well, it's not just that. He just uses people. I mean, he even used Andy Signore, and I'll say his name again because Andy was the victim in this scenario where Lunga used Andy to get more clicks and stuff. and he basically acknowledged that he knew that Andy Signore was a crappy human being, but basically needed him because he was no longer on Max's show. That's when he went back to Max after he had his fallout with Andy.
Well, Andy had a follow up with a lot of people, right?
Well, yeah, but first of all, when you have two loudmouths that no one likes together, you know what's gonna happen. It's like that's like two fuss budgets.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Fuss budget. George
fuss
is
budgets.
like my dearly departed granny. It's being a fuss budget.
No, they were fuss budgets. It was like these whiny, naggy, middle, 40-something-year-old men going.
It's like a bunch of politicians going at each other.
You got Lunga with his short temper, what the heck is wrong with you? And then you got Andy Signore going, why do you keep talking about me? That's basically what they were. They were two fuss budget 40-something-year-old men.
It's like that video that's I saw a video yesterday of two old guys fighting in McDonald's.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'll find it and I'll retweet it.
I enjoy seeing footage of people in theaters fighting. I don't know why. It's just hilarious.
these two dudes were in McDonald's, and I don't know.
That's my burger.
In the United, my dad, would hang after he retired. Would hang out at McDonald's with my uncle, his brother, and their buddies and shit. In the morning, they from 6 to 9 in the morning.
Well,
they'll just sit at McDonald's and drink coffee and eat breakfast and talk shit. You know. Yeah. So I'm assuming that these two dudes, that's part of their deal, and one of them had just had enough of the other one's shit and they got into it. You know?
At McDonald's.
There's nothing funnier than two people, regardless of their age or circumstances, two people that are familiar with each other, whether they're friendly, friends or family or whatever, two people that are familiar with each other who get into a fight, right? And every insult that they throw at each other, you have no context for it. You don't know. They're just all non sequiturs. They're all non sequiturs, but every last one of them is fucking hilarious because you know that there's history there. You know there's this deep lore between these two old dudes, and I was just mesmerized by it.
Well, I have these two students at after school, so their families are friends, their moms are friends. These two, always like they're friends 1 minute, but then like if one does something to the other, they're like, no, don't do that. Whenever they like argue, it's like, you know what? You're not arguing like two 6-year-olds. You're arguing like two 60-year-old men or 70-year-old men. It's like,
no, they're arguing. They're proxies for their mothers.
Yeah, it's like you know what? You sound
That's
like
what
two
that
women.
is.
So one of them was like, I'm gonna find out your age, and like these two boys, they both got these strong African accents. So it's like the one's like, I'm going to find out your age, and I'm like, go ahead. I'm old. I know. It's like
The African boy said the African boy, right?
Oh,
They got-
kids, yeah, no.
Oh my!
No,
Listen,
I can't do it.
I love them,
Yeah.
but like their
They said
accents
that?
are so strong.
But it's funny.
like-
But it's funny. It's not the accent. It's funny. It's that they said, "I'm gonna find out your age." Like, who
Yeah,
talks
no, the
like
way
that?
he says like, I'm going to find out your age one of these days. I'm like, go ahead. I know I'm old.
I'm gonna start scouting some of my local areas. Trivia nights at bars and restaurants and stuff, because Jeopardy is launching a new series, Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's nice.
And I don't know, but if I'm reading it correctly, they need teams of 3. And this won't be my first rodeo. I also auditioned for VH1's World Series of Pop Culture and
What
made it
is
to
Empire Strikes
the Chicago finals.
Yeah.
In 2000, when was that? 2007, 2006,
Chicago
2007?
You're from Chicago, right?
Yeah. My team was called the Hong Kong Cavaliers, but we didn't get out of the Chicago finals. But we made it pretty far. So I think I'm going to find a team. I'm going to put together a team, and we're going to take the test.
What will you name your team?
Now, what would I don't know. I don't know if I would imagine they're going to. It was Viacom. It was MTV would produce the World Series of Pop Culture back in the day. It was on VH1. So I figure I'll give this a shot. Just why not?
You should call yourself 3 Old Bucks Theater.
No.
Wait, what?
Buck 50 bargain cinema.
Me?
Probably better than $3 theater.
Blinded and I were like discussing, right? Because I'm doing Campia stuff tomorrow, right? So Blinded and I were joking around the Discord, like, you know what? We should make a new channel, a channel me and Blinded together, and make a channel. We call it Pundit Dumb Takes.
Well, I want to do. Okay, so I've never read a Harry Potter book, right? Here's my thing is, no. I don't shit on, like, if I have a pop culture blind spot, like Harry Potter. I've never read a Harry Potter book. I've never seen a Harry Potter
books either.
Okay,
not all of them.
But
I read the books.
I'm not going to shit on it. I mean, I can call J.K. Rowling a plagiarist, right? And among other things, because I believe she is. Oh, because I'm partial to another character that existed before Harry Potter, who I feel that she essentially plagiarized from. But I don't go on and on about it. I just don't read the books or watch the movies. Maybe I'll check out the TV show. But what I don't do is shit all over it simply because I don't know anything about it. And I see a lot of that in this space and in these communities. If somebody doesn't like something simply because they haven't been exposed to it, or they purposefully stayed away from it for whatever reason, I'm not going to do that with Harry Potter. Maybe I'll actually sit down and watch a movie someday. Maybe I'll read the book someday. Maybe I'll listen to the books.
You haven't seen Harry Potter movies at all?
No, I haven't. No, I have no.
Wow.
No, I mean, I can tell you the basic outline of the story just based on what fucking osmosis, I guess. But I've read. I read a comic for years. I read a comic for years that basically told me the same story, but it had like DC Comics characters and shit in it.
All
it was
there is
more
to know is
entertaining
that-
for me.
Yeah,
You know, it appealed to me more.
It's not really a different concept of a lot of things.
It's
Wait, Aaron,
essentially
Aaron,
it's not. It follows it does the heroic journey and
Yeah.
all that shit. Orphan
Aaron,
kid,
you said you never read the
hero
books?
journey.
I read the first book and the second book.
Oh, so you never read Goblet of Fire?
No.
Oh,
And I
my
do read
goodness.
books, just not
So
Harry
in
Potter.
Goblet of Fire, Dumbledore was very calm, while in the movie, Dumbledore is very angry. He's like, silence! Or like, Harry Potter!
An
Or like,
angry Dumbledore.
or like when he questioned if Harry put his name in the Goblet of Fire, in the book, he's like, did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly. In the movie, he pushes Harry against trophies going, did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire? Like, they butchered Dumbledore in that movie. And I love the Goblet of Fire movie, but the way Dumbledore was portrayed, oh my goodness.
Unhinged Dumbledore.
Yeah, he's like unhinged. He's like, Harry, get away from there. Like, he's very angry instead of the calm figure.
You know what I like about Gandalf? He can be very calm, friendly, but he can also be very condescending at times.
Oh, like fool of a took.
Yeah.
I was like with Dune 2. I've said this before. I'm not so married to a movie or TV show source material and what it's based on that I don't appreciate when the creatives adapting those works take big swings or make changes and stuff. But with Dune 2, I change whatever you want, as long as it works. And that just the third act of Dune 3 didn't work for me. So
as long as
he took the big swings that he took were
as long as they get the
much
point,
too far for me.
As long as they get the point from the books in the books at the point across, it's fine. Right? Like,
yeah, I don't think he did. I'd lost.
Oh.
Or he changed the point.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's just, there's two things that happen at the end of the movie that are so vastly different from the book that I feel that he's painted himself into a corner creatively for the next movie, and that he's by saying that he's giving one character more agency than they had in the book, he's actually taking her agency away, and then he's given an essential act committed by one character to another one who didn't need it, just to make it more of your standard hero's journey story that you've seen a million times before. When if he just would have played closer to the book, I would have liked it more. Not that it's a bad movie. I still like it. I bought the DVD. I don't, I bought the 4K. I don't have to, I've seen it. I liked it. It's different, and how it's different bothers me, but I'm interested in it enough.
I know you weren't impressed with the prequel series.
I'm not. I don't want to. I don't care about. I guess it's just I've been so immersed in those books for so long that it's like, why doesn't that's? I don't need it. I don't care. But if it's good, then it's not like I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I'm a fucking consumer, man. I consume this shit. Always have. And
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the hell out of Acolyte. It looks good.
Oh boy, get ready. People are just gonna, yeah. I'm just wait for it. Oh, this is just revenge of the Sheath.
Oh.
Well, no. This is how it's gonna be. It's like, what's up, geeks and gamers? This is Jeremy coming with you with another stupid, pointless video. And today we're gonna be talking about how woke Star Wars is. I honestly don't even know, because I don't even want to watch Star Wars anymore. Screw you, KKK Kennedy, and all you other Disney shrills. It's okay to like objectively bad stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
Like that's Jeremy Griggs in a nutshell.
Are you still watching him? Does he still do that?
No, but like that's how I remember him being before I stopped watching him. Like he's never.
I just
changed.
know that I would occasionally, like, they would turn up. I guess this is how many years ago this would be now. Like Perp just recently, Nerdrotic several years ago reviewed Perp's episode of Ash versus Evil Dead, and this is before Gary like turned sour or whatever, right? Because like there's just none of that shit, and he's with two people I don't know. I've never seen him with since, I don't think, and they probably abandoned him when he abandoned his fucking, whatever he had to abandon to become what he became. But none of those guys started out like that.
No.
And I don't think any of them will end up that way either, unless it's like Ricada, where in this instance, I think it's too fucking late. That ship has sailed. Good fucking riddance. And
Melly Mac,
yeah,
that way.
Yeah, they're just repugnant
goodness.
fucking
Melly
excuses
Mac
for
is so
human
crazy.
beings, and
Melly Mac.
they'll all fall down eventually. What has happened to all of them in the past will continue to happen to all of them in the future. That there's just as much churn as there's churn in their audience. There'll be churn with them. There'll be somebody to come in and take their place, but it'll just be the law of diminishing returns. And each time will just be a further parody of the last until people are like, yeah, what the fuck? And then you even have anti-woke people going, what is this all about again? So
people find him as a joke, very not to take it seriously, like rational people. But the worst is actually Doomcock, because he gets a lot of people watching his videos, more than those guys actually, more than those guys. Doomcock is actually the worst.
I think the majority of their audience are
dumb,
incredibly young, and anybody that isn't young is probably super special.
Gullible versus very
to catch my drift.
Yes. It's bad because actually Doomcock, like I'm subbed to Doomcock. I admit it, not because I watch the stuff, because like I'm doing the Cappy, I want to do the Doomcock too, right? I've done it on my other channel, right? The one I kind of abandoned. Look at these views. I don't know if he made a video today, but yeah, he made a video today. Hollywood's dying by the horrible Memorial Day box office. 40,000 views.
Hey, I don't know. Furiosa was a good movie, and it was the number one movie this weekend.
Well,
it doesn't really matter to me how much money it made. I'm sure George Miller's like, fuck yeah, let's do Thor 5. Let's go.
Oh, George Miller did a Thor movie. I am there opening night. Listen. After Furiosa, it's like he could salvage the Thor franchise. It's like
I don't know. I think it's James Bobbins. It's James Bobbins' job to lose.
I thought Troy Joy can't be that character. I was going to suggest.
Are they going to give? They can't afford George Miller.
Yeah,
they probably can't. But no, he would actually save the MCU if he were to join the MCU.
Disney could afford him.
No, they could, but they can't. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're not gonna pay his fee for. There's just no way.
He's gonna want to do things his own way. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
They're not. That
They could be like,
and it's going to take him at least like 7 or 8 years. So
yeah, they're not going to go with them.
I mean, George Miller's not going to save the box office, but he's going to save the quality of cinema.
I have a question for you. Is Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie? Is that Broadhild? Is that her name? Is that the same? Is that the character she plays, Broadhild?
Who? What?
Tessa Thompson's character Valkyrie is her name Broadhild or something like that? The blonde Valkyrie from the comics that Tessa Thompson plays?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Is that her name? Broadhild?
Broomhild?
Yeah, is that her name?
No. Well, yeah, that's her title.
Is that the character? That's the character Tessa Thompson plays, right?
Yes.
Oh, because I was about to say, oh man, now Taylor Joy could play that character. And I'm like, oh man, Tessa Thompson already plays her. Now, well, yeah, I think they will do Thor 5. It's just they need a new director. That's what they need.
I think
away
the
from
director
Taika.
was. I think at some point, I don't know if it's still the case, but I think James Bobbin was up for it. So
Yeah,
he
see,
just
like
he was on.
when
He's
Taika Waititi kind of
except
walked
produces
over.
Percy Jackson, writes and directs on Percy Jackson for Disney.
Yeah, but he's doing. I don't know how much they're doing season 2, right? They greenlit that.
Yeah, and he'll be back.
Yeah, and so like with the Taika Waititi 2022, he kind of was a jerk when people didn't like.
Did that soccer movie actually come out?
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't receive very. It wasn't received very well. Yeah, it wasn't received very well. That soccer movie. Yeah.
Is he in the Minecraft movie?
I'm not sure. He did his pirate show got canceled.
Yeah,
which I actually liked.
I think he's at least got a cameo in the Minecraft movie.
I liked his pirate show.
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, that's the thing. HBO has canceled a couple shows that people loved. It's so weird. Winning Time? Like, seriously, why did they cancel that? It was such a good show. Taika Waititi's filmography, man. Where is it? I'll just...
I think Winning Time cost too much, and I think there was still the possibility that there was going to be some litigation over it. So,
well, I can tell you one thing: most of the people that they portrayed were not really fans of the show.
no, I'm talking about between Will Ferrell and Adam McKay.
Oh, Adam McKay, they don't have they're not friends anymore. That relationship soured.
I think there might be talking again, though. I don't know, though.
Really? That's good.
But Adam McKay's, I think he's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit here recently. So, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, it looks like he has a couple stuff on the schedule. Claire and the Sun producer. I think that's a show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Claire and the Sun. That's a movie. That's an animation, right? Claire and the Sun.
What is it?
Claire and the Sun. I think that's an animation, isn't it? Claire and the Sun. I'm not sure. I don't know. He's in the.
I know it's a book, but they're making a movie out of it.
Yeah, he's executive producer on Time Bandits. It's a TV series.
Yeah, he's. I know he's in it too. He's got a part in it too.
He's in Werewolves as a producer, and Interior Chinatown as producer for TV series.
Jenna Ortega is cast as Clara, while Amy Adams was cast as Josie's mother.
I think it's animation.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Time Bandits is live action.
Yeah, I know that's live action. Lisa Kudrow, not bad.
No tiny people, no little people though. Boo! They're all normal sized people. Normal. No, they're all. What's the word? They're all height normative. They're height normative people. I don't know what the proper word is. They're tall. They're tall people. Is it tall good? Does tall work? I'm trying. Is tall the proper word to use for people of some height? See how hard it is?
Mm-hmm.
Like see like how like it's all eggshells. The world is just fucking eggshells.
Which Adam McKay movie did they cancel?
Even when you I don't know. Maybe that's why he's been salty lately. He's trying to be stinky, get some engagement, get some eyes on him.
Let's see what movie was. What movie? Filmography. Don't Look Up was on Netflix. Vice was it showed Vice. The Big Short, I know they showed that.
Oh, I like The Big Short.
He was a producer on Ant-Man, obviously. Get Hard, he did not direct, but he was a producer. Yeah, which movie? I'm pretty sure all these movies I'm reading, I saw. Woke up. I saw.
Yeah, he ain't got
Which movie?
shit right now.
Is Aaron a giant? Yes, I am. I'm 7 foot. I play in the NBA. I'm secretly playing for Dallas right now, the Mavericks. We're gonna sweep Minnesota and head to the finals to face the Celtics. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be an interesting finals. Yo, we got Dallas appearing like for the third time in their entire history. We got Luka making his first finals.
Oh, really? There was a Robert Pattinson movie where he's going to be a serial killer, and because
Oh yeah.
you can't have Batman as a serial killer. That's why.
Sure you can.
Even though Michael Keaton did it too, he was kind of not really a serial killer, but he kind of played a sociopath in a couple.
I think he's only going to be Batman for one more movie, though. Or he's only
Christian
going to be this.
Yeah, Christian Bale was.
He's only going to be this Batman for one more movie.
Christian Bale anyway was a serial killer before.
Yep.
And,
not too terribly much before. When was Michael Keaton a serial killer before? I'm sorry.
I don't know if he was a serial killer. I know he was like a sociopath. He's played a lot of villainous roles. Vulture's too obvious. I forget what movie it was. I think he
Pacific Heights. He was in Pacific Heights.
Was that the one where he went into some woman's home who was like deaf or something? I don't know. He had to get something. He was like he had a group of people who broke into a woman's home or something. I forget what it's called. I seen it. It was such a long time ago.
Well, it was Pacific Heights. He was like a couple buys a new house, right?
Yeah.
And he's like their creepy neighbor or something. I'm trying to recall the exact.
I remember Samuel L. Jackson played a creepy neighbor.
Yeah, what was that? Who was in that one?
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, Patrick Wilson, and was it Sana Lathan?
Yeah. And Dennis Quaid also played a creepy neighbor, didn't he, too, in the movie?
Yeah, that one was pretty recent too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that. I watched saw the trailer for his Reagan movie that's coming out. Man, I feel sorry for Jack Quaid.
But the son? That's the son?
Yeah.
But Jack Quaid is actually like he's going up in the ladder.
Yeah, Jack Quaid is
WGT too?
The son.
Oh yeah.
Jack Quaid is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Yes, thank you. Now, yes, thank you for making me remember. I remembered we were supposed to do something together. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. Yeah, Jack.
Movies get to the point of like the day before shooting and get the rug pulled out from under them.
It's Danny Craze's brother. That's the extreme crazy one. Oh my God!
Make no mistake, Dennis Quaid's just as crazy. He's just able to keep a lid on most of it,
and he's still finding some bit of work.
Well, yeah, Randy Quaid is too. But you're not going to see him.
Oh my goodness, Randy Quaid!
He saved the world from aliens, guys. Give him some love.
Like, just imagine being Jack Quaid and having to deal with that bullshit, man. Seriously. Like, I know he's not his uncle and his dad.
Randy Quaid was also Cousin Eddie in the Vacation movie.
Randy Quaid was on Saturday Night Live for a season.
He was also in Major League, right? As that fan, the obnoxious fan, the Cleveland fan. Remember,
was he? I can't remember.
Remember, you Indians, Cleveland, you suck, Indians. You Indians fans. Remember, he's always in the outfield bleachers. He was one of those three guys.
I loved Randy Quaid when he wasn't a fucking wackadoodle, and I bet if he shut up long enough to get a job, he'd probably be hilarious in something again if he'd just shut up and work.
Who?
You know?
I don't know who's more crazier, him or Rob Schneider. Like, Rob Schneider was never that funny. Like the making copies guy. He's always going to be the fucking making copies guy, and that shit was never funny to me. No.
That whole era of Saturday Night Live.
He's made a lot of bad movies, Rob Schneider. Really,
Spade's funny. Farley was funny. I mean, there were funny people on that show, but just collectively, those were the years I just couldn't fucking watch.
90s.
Adam Sandler ruined it for me, man.
The thing is, Adam Sandler, he could be funny and he cannot be funny. To me, he's always been.
Oh no, he's funny. It's not that they have their moments, but it's just
Chris
just
Farley
some
always
years
made me
I can't
laugh.
watch.
Chris Farley always made me laugh, no matter what he was in.
Yeah, because it's fat guy fall down funny. Ha ha ha. That's
John
why.
Candy. John Candy always made me laugh.
Yeah, John Candy was a. I
just,
don't want to get into that.
Funny
that
too,
still
but
breaks my fucking heart.
But he was much more in that. He was a complete actor too.
First movie said I was.
Yeah, John Candy's death.
Never cleared to be on.
John Candy's death.
Well, the thing that used to annoy me with Adam Sandler was like when Adam Sandler would be like in that Adam Sandler voice and be like, "I'm Adam Sandler and I'm gonna talk like this for the whole movie." Like when he did like that cringe voice. I liked him a lot in Uncut Gems though. He was phenomenal in that movie.
I think.
Oh, he could definitely. I mean, everybody could cut something they can do well. It's just, I don't know. I didn't.
Adam Sandler could do drama well. He can. I mean, like Punch
all of his characters, they were like the same character.
Punch Drunk Love. When him and Don Cheadle, it's one of his best movies.
Yeah, Punch Drunk Love's great. When he's basically just I don't know what he is. He's got issues.
Yeah, I think he was a victim of 9/11, if I'm correct.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Rob Schneider, I think he was the only one that didn't return for Grown Ups 2.
Nope.
All the other people returned for Grown Ups 2.
He didn't even get a You Can Do It in Grown Ups 2.
Nope.
You can do it.
Yeah, like Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, and David Spade, they all return. Yo, they even got Shaq in the movie.
Yeah, they got Shaq.
Well, all you gotta do is just call Shaq up and tell him you'll put Little Caesars or Papa John's in your movie, and then he'll come.
I don't know if John Candy was still alive today. I don't know, man. Like John Clevey.
If John Candy was still alive today, he would be doing like. So he would be old as fuck. So he would be playing dad.
He'd be in the 70s, wouldn't he? He was like 43 when he died. He'd be in the 70s.
Let's see. God, that's hard to say because I know he did. He's in JFK. He's in JFK for like 5 minutes, but it is an unbelievable 5 minutes.
He was in Amsterdam. No, was he in Amsterdam? No, he was not in an Amsterdam movie. That was Chris Farley. Chris Farley was the star of law in Amsterdam movies at the beginning. Chris Farley just made me laugh and everything. It's just. I miss Chris Farley, man. I wish the younger generation got to see what Chris Farley was like.
Yeah, they missed out on
John Candy would be 74, so
yeah.
Yo, they missed out on some really funny.
That's a tough one.
Actors and comedians like John Belushi. They're never gonna realize like how funny he was.
Hulk Hogan was apparently meant John Belushi, whatever. Yeah, John Belushi. Yeah.
I love the Blues Brothers.
I was there for all that, so like.
Yeah, you were lucky you got to be there when.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that those moments in popular culture that just kind of resonate throughout time. I feel fortunate to have been alive through. It's just crazy to me that I certainly never thought as a 7-year-old watching Star Wars that I would be in my mid-50s still talking about it.
What happened to Steve Buscemi? He just got punched on the street.
Yo, Steve Buscemi got punched by some random.
I heard that's actually kind of an epidemic in New York.
Yeah, it's not just in New York. It happens everywhere. And the thing is that it's kind of always been like that in places. It's just.
But now it's more. Why is it now?
Well, no, I think we're just exposed to it more because there's cameras trained on everyone.
Do you think it's influencers trying to get popular?
Yeah, it's definitely. Yes, it's definitely.
Yeah, I hate those people.
There's definitely a.
Oh,
definitely a.
I should tell the story of what I experienced on a New York City bus. So this guy was like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk. I gotta share this." So a few weeks ago, as I was heading home from work, some guy's like drunk and like. He's got like beer in like one of those like brown paper bags. He like having this weird conversation. I'm not gonna say what it is, but he's like saying these really inappropriate, uncomfortable stuff. I'm just like, yo, this guy's wasted right now, and all that. And I don't know, like he keeps looking at these two young girls that are like sitting by me. I'm like worried he's gonna do something to them. So he sees them getting off the bus. He starts like growling and acting like a dog in my ear. He's like, I'm on to you. I got your scent like a dog. I was just like, what?
Yeah, that does a scream.
But
Creepy.
That shit's
stuff.
not exclusive to like major cities. Shit like that happens in small towns
And here's the thing.
Mid-sized cities, and
this was a white guy with a southern accent. Like he just like acting like the definition of drunk hillbilly. Like I was
we just public transit is an issue here, and
it's an issue here too, man.
From the buses that do operate, it's just a fucking nightmare, man. You're better off. A big thing around here is the party buses and pedal bars. A pedal bar is a long row of bikes.
Yes.
That are connected to a bar that like you pedal and drink. It's a pedal bar. That's what it's called. So it's like a people-powered people mover where you pay to just sit on it and pedal and drink. Right? And now that's evolved into the party buses, and the party buses are huge. So that's what I'd rather do. If I'm not going to take public transportation, I'm just going to get on this party bus with these 25 bachelorettes and figure out where we're going from there.
Right. At least you don't have to worry about. At least you don't have to worry about a subway here, like we do. Because I don't know Nashville has a subway system.
No.
Yeah.
They talk about elevated train, but
yeah,
we can't even get trains from like Amtrak, like passenger rail here. We used to, but not anymore.
Here it's bad. Like it's probably the same in New York because it's just a lot of crazy people in the subway in Toronto.
Yo, there is some weird people in the subway. I stopped taking the subway. I take the express bus whenever I go into Manhattan.
Sometimes I have to take the subway to go into the city, and that just sucks. The bus is, and this is not during the night. It's sometimes during the day too. During the day.
Yeah, when I'm in Chicago, I won't take public transportation. I'll get a car. I'll get a car. I can't. There's just no way. It's used at a different time, sure, but
in New York,
not anymore.
When I went to New York, we didn't even use a car, man, to travel around. You just take either the subways here or you just walk around. Because we're Manhattan.
Yeah.
I should think about New York.
No, the problem with Chicago is, like, let's say Wrigley Field, right? There's only really one hotel, and it's connected to Wrigley Field, right? And it's like most nights it's going to be between, I don't know, $500 and $1,000 a night.
I'm not surprised. Most sports stadiums are usually outside this.
But like if you go to a game in Cincinnati, you're going to be able to get a hotel room within walking distance. If you eat like, not like in Chicago, like if you're going to a White Sox game, sure, you're going to be fine. You'll be able to find an affordable room nearby for traveling, right? But not in Wrigleyville, and that's a problem for me. So typically I stay further away in the city, not in the suburbs, in the city. And that's an expensive ride. It can be an expensive ride because there's nothing, there.
When I stayed in New York, right, we stayed in the Hyatt Hotel in Manhattan, right? Right near Fifth, what's the station there? Times Square, right? Near there, right? I think the highest near was near Times Square. The Milwaukee Brewers came to town, right? To face the Mets. And here's the thing, Shea Stadium at the time was in Queens. That's a distance from downtown Manhattan. That's a good distance. Isn't it, George?
Wait, what was the question again? Sorry.
Is it Shea the Queens? It's a good distance from the Shea Stadium, the Mets play, was a good distance from there to Manhattan.
Yeah, there is.
And they had to go all the way from downtown. It's probably because the hotels around there. See, here in Toronto, we got the baseball stadium downtown, and we got the basketball hockey stadium downtown, and there's hotels all around. So sports teams don't have to travel far, basically, right? To take the bus to this. But they're away teams. Obviously, home teams, the players have probably rent something in the nearby hotels, probably like a suite or something. But the away teams don't have to travel far. But in some
I like
places,
Hyatt's. Once you stay at enough Hyatts and spend enough money there, you get club access. And once you have Hyatt club access, and you're in the world of Hyatt, you get a lot of free shit.
Yeah, it's just at these. But I know a lot of cities, right? They have stadium like specific football and baseball stadiums are usually outside the cities, outside the main downtown cities, right, where all the buildings are. They're usually outside. New York is like that with Barkley. I know with Yankee Stadium, the Mets. I know the Rangers. The Rangers and the Knicks playing downtown. Manhattan's still downtown, but the other teams, I know George could vouch for me on this, play outside downtown New York. Right, George?
Well, what's going on? I'm also paying attention to the Dallas game. It's tied right now.
I'm saying Barkley, right? Barkley, the Yankee Stadium, and where the Mets
Yankee
play.
Stadium's
It's outside Manhattan, right?
Well, Yankee Stadium's in the Bronx. So you gotta go to the Bronx to go Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
The Giants, the MetLife Stadium's in New Jersey. It's not even in the state of New York.
Oh, it's MetLife.
Yeah,
MetLife.
yeah.
Football. Yeah.
Like Times Square to watch any Ranger or Knicks games is in Manhattan, the heart of Manhattan.
Yep.
Barclays Center's in Brooklyn. Well, they're the Brooklyn Nets, so it makes sense. Trying to think, are there any other New York teams? And I know when they were the New Jersey Nets, they were in New Jersey.
Because
I know promoters that will have bands scheduled dates, like major bands scheduled dates in Camden, New Jersey, but they list them all as Philadelphia.
Because
yeah. Well, because that's the market, but it also helps move tickets
funny,
because nobody wants to go to a fucking concert in Camden.
It's funny, Knowles, because like George said, the football team, the Jets and the Giants, or New York Jets and Giants, but they play them in New Jersey, but it just doesn't have that. The New Jersey Jets or New Jersey Giants just not appealing, right? New York is more appealing.
Well, I think Philly has the crime statistics in Philly are a little better than little better than Camden, New Jersey.
Well, I'm pretty sure Philadelphia is a much bigger city than Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still. I mean, they're kind of the same. They're just right. They're like not. They're just minutes apart.
They're like borders. They
kind of they on each side of the river. Yeah,
Toronto's
they're both river towns.
Of course, there's a lot of shit going on in New York. There's always shit in New York.
Yo, always something happening in New York.
New York.
Dude, there's always something happening everywhere. And even in the places where it looks like there's nothing happening, something's fucking happening.
Yeah. If you live in a small town, something is happening.
It's kind of crazy, man, when you I don't know. I guess it's just because I've been around longer.
Well, yeah, even when I lived in a small town in Pennsylvania, crap was always happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's none of the stuff's exclusive to one place or the other, really. It's the thing is that whatever is going on or whatever you hear happen in one place, you can almost bet that it's happening right under your fucking nose. Mm-hmm. Like right now, you're probably, speaking of under your nose, right now you're probably no less than 6 city blocks from somebody holding a substantial amount of cocaine. That's just
someone on Staten
that's just the
Island,
reality of it.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Someone that lived not too far from me, like while I was away, apparently they got arrested for having ghost guns.
Ghost guns.
Yeah. So, like something's always happening. You never know when something's gonna happen.
I worked at a university, and we had this is a 4-year private university, Ivy League of the Midwest, and we had a meth lab explosion in a fraternity house overnight, and that woke up everybody that worked there, from the dean from the president of the university to so like, is a fraternity house on a college campus the first place you'd expect a meth lab to explode? It's not the last place I would expect a meth lab to explode, but it ain't the first either. When you consider the backgrounds that, when you just consider the stereotypes of the kids that went to that school. So it takes, what I'm saying is, it takes all kinds.
Oh my goodness.
No. I need to look that up. I need to look that up one day, so when I do talk shit about them, I know what I'm talking about, like what the charges were. Because I'm looking at Rekieta's charges, and I'm like,
what? No,
that's not what I'm saying. Blinded. But there's probably somebody close to you that is partying just like Nick Rekieta. It doesn't matter where you live.
I'm sure you're still be high right now. I don't know if I told you this story. I think I might have told you the story on stream.
Oh my God, I forgot John Hausman was the driving instructor in The Naked Gun.
Oh, I don't know if
I've got the Naked Gun on, and it's the chase scene with the teen driver, and
I don't know if they're going to continue that. I don't know if they're going to continue that remake. You know what Liam Nielsen said about like Kevin Spacey?
Oh yeah, he keeps just fucking stepping in it.
They'll
continue with it, but they'll find somebody better for the role probably, because I think he might be a little too crusty right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who's playing Nordberg, but it won't be OJ.
What? Why is he doing? Is he doing that? Is he doing the Naked Gun reboot because his name is basically similar to Leslie Nielsen's?
Well, no, there's Leslie Nielsen, and then there's Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but you get the point, right?
No, I think it's something that it's one of those things that I think Seth MacFarlane's been cooking up for a long time.
But it's not going to be like Naked Gun that we all know. It's going to be more serious.
No, I don't think it is. It's
really
going to be exactly the Naked Gun we all know.
Can Liam Nielsen do that? Because I haven't seen much film where he does that.
You never saw, what is it, a Million Ways to Die in the West?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just, the thing is that the character of Frank Drebin and a character like Frank Drebin is that they're the straight guy. It's everybody else who's a dope and making jokes, but he's the straight guy. He's the one who's deadpan, who all this ridiculous stuff that's happening around him is just every day for him. He's not shocked or surprised by any of it, right? So when he's got a pack of cigarettes and he's got a cigarette sticking out of it, and he asks Anna Nicole Smith, "Cigarette?" And she goes, "Yes, I know." They're both selling it. They're both playing it straight.
He mentioned something about Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he's on the list of people making public statements about forgiving Kevin Spacey for his past transgressions and letting him back into the Hollywood machine because he's far too great a talent. Despite these horrible things he may have done, he wasn't charged, and it's time to forgive and forget.
Oh my!
Stone.
I guess we should forgive and forget Dan Schneider as well.
And these celebrities, right? Like the
the thing is that there is something to be said for getting away with it. As sad as that is, right? There has to be a reason. Now we're seeing some of those reasons play out right in front of us today on television. If you spend any a second watching the news, regardless of where you get your news. So yeah, what I don't know. They weren't charged, they weren't convicted. It's a tough situation. It really is. Now I'm not gonna not watch The Usual Suspects when I feel like watching The Usual Suspects, and that's a double whammy right there. Could be a triple whammy, or maybe even a quadruple whammy if you believe all the rumors.
Is that James Woods also?
No, it's Bryan Singer.
Oh,
Bryan Singer directed The Usual Suspects. Bryan Singer directed Kevin Spacey in The Usual Suspects.
Well, he directed him in Superman.
Directed him in Superman.
Yeah.
What else?
No, well, let's be real. I feel like a lot of these creeps are kind of connected. I mean, that guy Brian Peck from Nickelodeon was also in Bryan Singer's first two X-Men movies in small roles.
Yeah, it's
and I'm pretty sure it was an X-Men producer that wrote a letter of support for Brian Peck along with James Marsden.
Yeah, it's not really a conspiracy. It's just people. I don't know, man. Look out for their own. People cover for their own, despite no matter how despicable. Usually,
Bryan Singer was an actor in Star Trek Nemesis too.
Yeah, he was just a cameo. I think it was.
He directed. Oh my God! The acclaimed Freddie Mercury movie was directed by him.
Well, no, not really, not really.
Oh,
There's a movie there. Just no, Dexter Fletcher directed most of. Not most. I don't know the percentage, right? I think the way it breaks down is that with the DGA is, I don't know. I think it only really needs to be 25%.
I know how
the main contracted director. I'm not sure what there's actually a percentage. There's actually a percentage of the movie that would have to be directed by that person for them to claim.
Now I know why
the credit.
Now I know why Nicholas Hoult became Beast, because Jack the Giant Slayer, he directed it. No, because
he also directed Apt Pupil, starring Brad Renfro, who is no longer with us. And then there's also a whole horror story about the making of that movie with Bryan Singer and Brad Renfro and Ian McKellen.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'll stop there.
Look at this credit. You know the section of Wikipedia credit is for Dark Phoenix, director, no. Producer, uncredited. Writer, no. Actor, no. Removed from production and credits amid sexual allegations. And you're right about Bohemian Rhapsody, replaced by Dexter Fletcher in late production.
Yeah.
But retained credit as a director.
Yeah, and he also on Apocalypse. Same deal. That's does it say wherever you're looking at on Apocalypse? Does it say anything about Simon Kinberg ghost directing X-Men Apocalypse?
It says It just says Screenberg, Simon Kinberg.
Simon Kinberg essentially directed Apocalypse.
And he wrote.
He did direct Dark Phoenix. Kinberg did.
I like his X-Men movies. Well, the first two in First Class and Days of Future Past.
No. Kinberg's written some good shit, but the reality is that he's written a greater percentage of his work has been awful shit. And now that he's I don't know what he's doing with Star Trek. I don't know. I think I care. I think it's one of those things I'll probably just let go.
He's executive producer on all the Deadpool stuff. He's gonna be in the one in the upcoming Deadpool. He's executive producer right now. Deadpool Wolverine, executive producer Simon Kinberg. Hunting in Venice, that Kenneth Branagh movie. He was executive producer. He did the 355 movie. I think that's the one where Jessica Chastain plays like a secret agent or something. That didn't do very well. Wasn't received very well. New Mutants. The 355.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't received very well. Yeah, he's up and down. I mean, he was executive producer on The Martian, Logan, Murder.
Was he got a writing credit on The Martian?
Martian? Nope, just producer.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wrote on it.
He was a writer for Fantastic Four, and he did produce, and maybe he did. Yeah, maybe
Dennis Quaid's got two assholes, and one of them's Donald Trump.
Maybe he should not direct movies, Simon Kinberg.
He's directing a new Star Trek movie.
Oh.
He's executive producing, writing. From what I understand, he's shepherding an entirely new era and franchise of Star Trek. That sounds to me like they're Kelvinizing the Enterprise timeline, kind of. The First Contact Enterprise era type stuff. And I don't know. I can't make heads or tails of the bullshit anymore, so I just don't pay attention. I watch what I like and let the rest of it fall to the side.
Maybe there's just some writers that shouldn't direct at all.
I think most of it boils down to them having some kind of deal where
yeah,
they're going to get paid whether they work or not, so the studio is going to get work out of them, and yeah, it's fucking stupid. But whatever. I don't want to sound like a fucking bus budget.
Deadpool Wolverine. Let's see.
Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm sure it'll be a fun. Have they pinned the runtime down? 2 hours and 10 minutes, whatever. I'm sure it'll be a fun.
Yes, yes, there is a time, but I don't know if it's official.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. It can't. I don't see how it can be when they really. That still, they probably don't even know what the fuck that movie is really about. It kills me, man.
Deadpool Wolverine says 2 hours or something.
Yeah, 2 hours and 7 minutes or some bullshit like that, which that sounds okay. I have no doubt there'll be some belly laughs and some cool shit and some neato Easter eggs that'll probably make a fucking ton of money on the first weekend, and then have a giant drop off, and we'll all be watching it on Disney Plus in October.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm tired, man. I'm gonna end it here. I'm not tired of going to sleep, but I'm just tired of how I'm here.
Tired of this bullshit. Aaron's tired of it. He's had it. He can't take it anymore.
It's been over 3 hours. I gotta eat something. I mean, I had.
Me too. I'm gonna go grab some din din.
Yeah. George. Anything to promote?
I reviewed Furiosa this weekend. I don't know what my next video is going to be about just yet. Maybe I'll start catching up on my X-Men reviews for Deadpool and Wolverine. But yeah, you can find me at the George. I'm going to put the link to my channel in the chat.
I'm on Twitter. I'm getting blocked by dummies on Twitter and posting dumb shit there. And I'm also, if you see me a goth, duck and
sorry, blinded. Hug
your moms, kiss your dogs, and don't let your meat loaf.
I don't have any dogs, so I can't kiss them. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, tomorrow, guys. I'm sorry, blinded. Hey, but it's good news for you, blinded. Tomorrow we're gonna talk Campia. The camper. And watch Campia Exposed. I could tell I am not Campia Exposed, by the way, just to let you know. I'm not him.
I think Campia Exposed is Film Gob.
Maybe.
I forgot Film Gob even existed.
I think Film Gob wanted everyone to forget that he existed.
I don't see it. Does he?
But apparently he's back now, I think. Yeah.
He streamed like 3 weeks ago. That's his last stream. 3 weeks ago.
And when did Campia Exposed go away and come back?
He came back a couple days ago. Was it blinded?
Yeah, it hasn't been. It's been recent. Been fairly recently because I know you said he was. Dude took his channel down, and then all of a sudden, boom! There he was, and I was like, I knew it was you, Aaron.
He took a lot of videos. He got rid of a lot of videos. He did.
Yeah, but it looks like everything's back up. That shit's hilarious, regardless of how. I don't know, man. I don't. Yeah, shit's funny, man. If you're gonna put yourself out there, you gotta be able to fucking. Somebody's gonna bend you over. You better be able to take it. That's all I gotta say.
The thing is, I don't think Captain cares.
No, he doesn't care, but he cares about the bottom line. You know, his bottom line, and this ain't cutting it anymore. So,
yeah. And tomorrow we're gonna do some campiest stuff, man. What's he
gonna do? I mean,
we're gonna look
and
at
he does all right. So
it's
not like he's gonna be threatened. You know,
we're gonna look at thoughts of Peacemaker, Blade, and some other stuff from today, but also new stuff from tomorrow too. It's weird, look. There hasn't been a rash of entertainment news this past few days. There's been news, but it's not been like after another. It's actually been like there's been hours apart for this past few days. So that's why I haven't really done Let's Talk Pop.
Well, we're getting into con season here.
Yeah, and maybe it's because the holidays too. The holiday maybe.
Well, yeah, and everybody. It's either the first week of summer or the last week of school for most people.
Yeah.
Like kids, parents, college kids. Well, college has been out for a minute.
So guys, tomorrow, guys, campy stuff.
Good night, everyone.
On Thursday, if you don't care about wrestling, but I do gonna talk wrestling on my channel, and we're gonna have my thumbnail is gonna have a makeout session on it. So like, share, subscribe, and comment below.